Hello everyone, and welcome to Radio City Crit. I am your Dungeon Master Harna, joined by my local group. Well, used to be local, now far spread.
You don't know what group to call us now
What
anymore,
group are
do
we?
you?
Who's who? Both groups are so regular now, but I am always here. Let's start off with the man who's just a mouthful of drink. Ryan, go!
I am Ryan, the ASMR Barbarian, named Cyrus, and I'll pass to Anthony.
Hi, I'm Anthony. I play Beros Darkfoot, the Satyr Rogue, and I will pass to Mary.
Hi, I'm Mary. I play Astra, the ASMR Tempest Cleric, and I'll pass it to Will.
Hi, I'm Will. I'm playing Volgate, the Duragar Ranger, and I'll pass it to George.
Hello, I'm George. I am playing Atlas Moreau, the Owlin Druid, and I will pass it back to our DM.
Alrighty.
I cycled through like 7 classes then. I could not remember who I was.
Who am I? I've been playing too much Baldur's Gate.
I've been playing another campaign
much
and
D&D.
Baldur's Gate like constantly, and it's like I cycled
I'm
through.
playing Anhiri, a tiefling Bard?
Tiefling
Fuck,
bard.
Not me.
No, I'm not the human bard either right now. I play a lot of
Can I
bards.
point
To be
out?
fair, when
Can I point out? I forget what class I am, and I only have one campaign.
I was staring at my character for which
I mean,
was
I,
like,
I
which one
did
is
better
the
than the
campaign?
last time I
forget.
played the other campaign, because then I just straight up forgot who my character was called. It's like, hello, I am playing someone, and they have a name
They do, in fact, have a name.
that I hesitate every time I say, because I still am not 100% sure how I'm meant to pronounce it.
It's not that complicated, is it?
It just looks weird written down.
Well,
Did you come up with the name?
No, I didn't come up with the name.
No,
she was an
it's-
NPC.
it's an NPC.
She's
character,
called
basically.
Esvele.
There you go.
Esvele.
Perfect. Nailed it.
Esvele.
It's really.
Esvele Rosnar. She's fun. She's like a Batman, Catwoman kind of thing.
There's always one in a campaign.
Gotta have it.
Not my written story. There's this,
No, she was like an actual, like, in the book NPC.
but her parents
Again,
aren't dead.
Always one.
We just thought it would be funny if she... Maybe they should be, though.
Maybe.
They did slave stuff.
Harry kills them off next session.
They did slave stuff.
Look,
Like when you need a tragic character.
it's the harm of the
Orphan.
little slaves. stuff every now
Reform.
and again.
It was just funny, because, like, I could join the group, because, like, another person in the group is playing, like, her sister. So it's like, bam! I'm your sister.
Surprise, bitch.
Bad, okay.
The only downside is that I fell into, you know, Will's trap of Harry introduces a character with an accent and then you can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's her accent?
She's English, but more English than I am. Very English.
Pip Pip and.
She's like his
the Queen
stereotypical
English.
snooty elf voice.
Ah.
Oh.
I was going to say Emma Watson, but I'm like, no, maybe not.
But
Emma
not his
Thompson.
snooty elf voice in this campaign, because now they're French.
So they're prim and proper, are they?
She was like cocky. That's like how I described her to you.
I'm
Oh,
not a
cocky or
person.
cockney.
No, not cockney.
Cocky.
Cockney would have been funny, though.
Yeah, it's like, here's your character. She speaks exclusively in Cockney rhyming slang. We've got 2 weeks.
See, I would be stuck
You're
because
innocently
I either
researching.
have to pretend, you know, to learn Cockney rhyming slang, or reveal that I speak way too much Cockney rhyming slang already.
See, it's one of those I feel like it's one of those things. If you'd done that while we were in uni, it'd be like, spend 2 weeks doing coursework. Nah, 2 weeks learning Cockney.
That is how
Suddenly.
my course went. Also, sometimes my course went so ridiculously that it was like, spend 2 weeks researching the Muppets. Yes, that's coursework.
So just watch it over and over and over and over.
Oh no, I had to go deep into I used the phrase in my dissertation, not in my dissertation, in one of my modules. I used the phrase, there is debate within the Muppet community. And everyone was like,
God.
hang on, there's a Muppet community? They're debating?
They do debate in the Muppet community.
Oh, I
Muppet
actually made
community.
notes last session.
Debate.
Oh my god, it's a
And
miracle.
on that note, does anyone wish to tell me what happened last time?
Nazis, but now it's Brexit.
Yeah, Nazi Brexit pretty much sums up.
Yeah, there you go.
Um,
Summed up in 3 words.
The elf bitch, the archmage, did her big speech. She revealed herself as an astral elf, and we were like, didn't know those existed. A little group who may or may not be the Dryad's Tears replaced all the Dryad's Tears who were skewered with guards who were skewered, and the Archmage was like, it's a silly illusion, but we know it was not a silly illusion. Atlas was a squirrel for, like, the entire session. Atlas, Astra, and Volgir met these Dryad's Tears maybes in the church, temple, whatever it is, of Saparna, and Astra convinced them that we were at least not with the Archmage, and they were like, you should meet us in this house. And Atlas was like, oh yeah, I saw them go into that house when I was a squirrel. And now I am a squirrel again. And Atlas and Astra are going to the house. And Volgar is planning on catching up slightly after, when we've like smoothed over and explained the situation. And Cyrus and God, absolute mind blank on your fucking
Barros.
name, Barros, are high as balls. They're high as balls because they did a big old sheesh.
Big
As
old
we left.
shisha.
And they're
shisha
heading
talk.
to the theater. Also,
That's the thing. Barros and Cyrus are just having a really chill
Yeah,
time. We're
They're
not
just having a
dealing with
holiday at this point.
stabbings.
You're just
We're not
following
dealing with-
We did like
what the Archmage
sow
told you to do.
dissent.
Essentially,
some murmurs.
we
I'm
were
not
like,
gonna go
hey,
there.
we need to act like tourists, and they were like, be tourists. Got it.
Get high and see the theater. Why not? Oh, I need to close my door because I can hear myself on Mary's mic.
But yeah.
I'm sure we can do something from the theatre.
That's what happened last session. I don't think anything else important happened.
The leader of the possible Dryad's Tears also has the starlight.
Oh
in
yeah,
her
she's also
eyes.
got something about her. Some
Hmm.
kind of starlight about herself.
Starlight about her elf.
Starlight about her elf.
That sounds like some kind of innuendo. And with that, let's jump into it. Let's kick it off with our troublesome trio, who are kind of moving almost in tandem. So you've got Astra kind of leading the way, a squirrel Atlas on her shoulder, and you also have Volgir, who is wearing
Oh,
Atlas's
yeah. He's
mask,
got my mask
and
on
tank as
to
his
pretend
disguise.
to be me.
So he's unrecognizable. So he's potentially
he-
compromising Atlas's identity, but not his own.
Atlas figures if they throw her off this place, she can at least fly.
I brutally cannot remember if I actually put it on or not.
I did.
So, as you guys are moving to the house, anything particular you're doing on the way, or are you just going straight there?
I don't think there is much I can do, considering I am
World.
squirreled.
You like dig your razor sharp
Could we-
claws into like Atlas's neck if you wanted.
Can I
Could we say
squeak
you
the
two were
Mission
gonna go
Impossible
first?
theme tune?
You can squeak the Mission Impossible theme tune. You don't know what Mission Impossible is, so
She's just making it up in her head.
okay,
you
make me a
know?
performance check then.
Sure.
to
As a
see-
squirrel?
Yeah, well, it's the same as you're a druid, so it's the same stat.
Oh yeah.
Guessing casting Speak of Animals on Astra would be an idea. Pre-squirrel. Supposed to be a squirrel already.
I don't think she gave you the
Also,
chance.
if you cast
I'm
Speak of Animals on her,
really
it
good
wouldn't
at
do.
it.
Yeah, it's a
Why
fucking
do I
bop.
roll better as a rat than I do as my actual character? Like, my medicine check was just absurd.
Jeez.
I hope I have decent rolls like Sunday.
If you cast Speak with Animals on the squirrel, it wouldn't really help them because they're a squirrel, and then they would be able to speak back to you because you're not a beast.
No, Astra
No.
doesn't know it, but
Ah,
did
okay.
Atlas cast Speak with Animals before she
Yeah,
became
she-
a squirrel? I don't think she did.
No. Also, it wouldn't let you
It doesn't work anyway, does
speak
it?
to a wild-shaped person because
They don't
although
count.
they
Oh, okay.
they take on the shape of a beast, it doesn't change them into a full-blown beast.
Yeah, I
So,
also can't speak
They can't.
squirrel.
Yeah, if you put them next to a squirrel, they couldn't then communicate with the squirrel. It's not
I
an
am
ability
next
that
to a
you can-
squirrel I can't communicate with. Except giving him the middle finger, which I assume he understands.
He doesn't. It's not a thing in scroll culture.
Oh.
He actually thinks you're
But
praising
I
him.
feel like
Oh, what are you gonna
Pip's
do?
like, do you speak?
Also, like, she's just squeaking.
Squirrel coming
She's
in.
just squeaking like her own theme tune, and like it's still squirrel, but just like random nonsensical words. It's just there like chair, pineapple, clouds.
Alrighty. So you make your way. You approach this like couple of stories, like 2 stories, a little townhouse building.
I will
Kind of
point out the house whenever.
You
Are
hear
we all going in together?
as you get close.
Smack your cheek. Point.
I don't believe. Are you all moving together? I mean, it's up to
I
you.
thought it was you two first.
We're
Yeah.
moving
Oh, yeah.
first, and then Volga's gonna come in a little bit once we've kind of explained
Yeah. In my head, Volgir, you're probably keeping them in sight, but you're not like walking
He's like
with them.
tailing
Yeah,
us.
I think we said something about staying within ear range, and you'd knock on the door,
Like not earring
So like
range,
150
within,
feet
like,
away.
like hearing
Yeah.
range.
But yeah. Because it's just
So that was
Astra
'cause I've
taking
got
a
some
very
notes here about knocks and whatnot.
Astra taking a very casual walk with her casual squirrel, who is definitely the same squirrel from before.
I feel like
Definitely not
Astra's like
multiple
pretend
squirrels.
feeding you a nut, and then you're just passing.
Just passing it like down into the cloak. Sleight of hand.
Pip is fully enjoying this conveyor belt system. Ford is rolling in his grave right now. Yeah, you.
I thought you meant like critical role Ford for a second.
No, as in
there.
Henry Ford,
Yeah, no, I got it.
the inventor of the conveyor belt system.
Yeah, I got it once you said it, but I was like, why? What? Does Ford hate squirrels?
Maybe. Regardless, you approach the building. Atlas.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you do?
Astra will.
You're also
Knock
currently in the
quietly.
nighttime segment. I would imagine.
Okay. Yeah. Astra will knock the door quietly and gently.
Yep. You just a light little tap. There's a pause. You hear the sound like shuffling from inside. Eventually, the letterbox kind of like springs open, and you see a pair of eyes looking at you from it. There's a pause, and then closes, and you hear the sound of a latch being undone, and then the door opens about maybe 1.5 feet, 2 foot across. You just hear, "All right, come in."
Okay. Astra will like slowly walk in. It's like my friend just at the other side of the door. Can he join us?
Pause.
I will
Me-
like wave my arms and like point at myself as well. If, like, please explain.
This is another friend. She's a druid.
Right.
She was here in the church earlier. Temple.
Can you trust this other person?
And trust them with my life.
All right. Be quick then.
Okay. Astra like walk in.
Yep, you walk inside. They pause a moment to see if anyone else comes. Your other friend you've described. But no one else
I
seems...
figured
Or are you describing just the squirrel?
the squirrel and Fulgir, but figuring Fulgir, if he's in earshot, he would have heard that
Yeah.
potentially.
He's still
Up to
holding
Volgar
back.
if you want to come in or not.
Yeah, I'll come in if I hear it.
So Volgar, you step inside and you find yourself in this little... like,
I'm gonna drop squirrel.
Okay.
Because I want to be part of this conversation. It's gonna
Do you
be...
hop off of Astra
You've got a fucking
before?
Yes,
full-size...
Yes, I hop off of Astra for... I like to
Full-size
think...
bird
I
jump
like
on
to
your
think she,
shoulder.
like, jumps off and then, like, halfway through the jump just becomes, like, fucking owl.
And then I've got to take
Here,
off the
Landon.
shit and give it to you.
Yeah, you're immediately like
Yeah.
Darth Vader when he takes his fucking mask off.
She can breathe for a little bit without it. It's just harder.
You all step inside, the door's closed and locked behind you, and you see a familiar kind of group here. It seems like all of them are accounted for. If you recall, last time there was probably a good, like, I think about 7 had survived the initial encounter. In the actual, like, library itself. 8, cool. Yeah, because one got one got saved by you guys, and one was still unconscious. Whenever you get here, it looks like that other one is still currently out. It's only been, a couple of hours. And this kind of, just a little... all the curtains are drawn. People are just staying away from the windows, trying to keep quiet. You have a little scan around, and you see Alara is kind of like moving through, kind of like checking on people every now and again. And you see there's food being like divvied out and things like people are eating, like just bandaging wounds, things like that. And it's all being done in relative silence.
Remember what spell slots I have.
So So are you guys the Dryad's Tear still, or?
Lara kind of like gives like a little nod, and she gestures to the stairwell that kind of like goes up from this main entryway slash lounge you kind of find yourself in. There's a kitchen beyond you can see through an archway on the ground floor, but she gestures to a stairwell climbing up, and she will head upstairs herself to find somewhere more private to.
Yeah, I'll follow the shady elf. The shelf.
She leads you up the stairs to like a bedroom, and she
Do they-
remains.
Take any of the weapons off us, don't you?
No.
We are fully armed and dangerous.
You are, as far as they're concerned, you are allies to an
Alright,
extent. That's why
okay.
you're here. She
We're
takes
here
you into
because
a
we don't
bedroom a bit
agree
kind of out of the
with
way. She
Brexit.
goes like, "We might be able to speak a bit louder in here, just in case there's any foot patrols going around. We don't want to be overheard with any buzzwords of any kind."
Got it. But you are, right?
Yes, that would be the group that we all were originally joined under.
Full disclosure. We did fight you guys in the other city.
You must be the ones that Tracky mentioned.
Ah, yeah, our old friend.
He didn't quite consider you friends, but I suppose maybe you have been blinded and see a bit clearer now the true drive for our fight.
We are conflicted. Right, guys? Conflicted? Is that the word we're looking at?
Torn, yeah.
On one hand, we don't agree with you blowing people out of the sky. On the other hand, we don't agree with her blowing people
People being,
further into the sky. So,
or seeing people getting kicked off.
or killed in the
Cities.
street. Both of you are killing
Yeah.
people in the street. We're very anti-street murder.
No, it is different horses for different courses. A city like Oel and Nareth needed probably more of a shock and awe if he had any hope of winning over the populace there. It was, well, still is, I suppose, the capital of the High Elf cities. We needed to drum up anything we could, really, to make here and the other city as well fall into line if we had any chance, unfortunately. That's why our
So-
approach here was a little bit more gentle, but it unfortunately was met with very heavy resistance from the Watchers.
You tried to blow a city out of this. Everyone would have died. You get that, right?
No. There was emergency measures in the cities as far as our intelligence was correct. The city would have fallen for a few thousand feet, and then it would have kicked in a series of featherfall engines. It should have slowed the descent down enough to control the landing. There would have been injuries, yes, but death at that scale would have been very unlikely, based on what we had gathered from the original mages who had turned to our side. I see no reason why they would choose to lie about the city they were eventually going to be descending on.
The Moon Isle nearly fell off.
Again, if it had fallen fully, it may not have been as tragic as everyone believed it. It was unfortunate the timings were off. That was a bad calculation by the people on the ground, I believe. No, it was not my operation. I only heard the aftermath of the explanation by Tracky. He blamed you all for gumming up what should have been synchronized explosions.
Yeah, they failed on another one at the same time, so
Yeah, not really our
they
fault.
they only got 1 out of 3. We were
They
only
could
at
have
one of
got
them.
2 out of 3, but they didn't get all 3 at once.
Yes, I think there was perhaps some other guards and things that maybe had pushed an early point.
Also,
Again-
probably
again,
not a
I
great
wasn't there, I
plan
can't-
if like 5 civilians managed to stop it. So, but anyway,
I would argue people of your caliber. She kind of like nods to the badge that I believe all of you are still wearing.
No, I'll take them
No,
right
we
off
took
for
those
one.
off.
Taking them off.
we took those off the second we were like, "Stay the fuck out of it." We were
Yeah.
like,
She
"Okay."
doesn't make a mention. She goes like, well, unfortunately, things like this is not always cut and dry, and maybe you should take it as a compliment of your own ability.
So what's the plan here?
Right now, survive. We wanted to get who we could down and give them proper rights, which we achieved mostly. That was more or less it for now. We don't really have anything else on the immediate agenda. We're not strong enough to fight back. We have to wait for this all to settle down.
Do you know her,
Know who?
the Archmage?
Personally? Yes. I used to be very close with her for a time.
Insight.
Sure.
Yeah, that's
21.
Yeah, you don't see any physical resemblance apart from the star eyes that she doesn't actively cover with a glamour like the Archmage did. Apart from that, there is no physical link. Apart from the fact that they both have silver hair and have both got fairly pale skin. The Archmage has these piercing sapphire blue eyes, which reflect with the white glimmers of the night sky. Whereas Alara, who you're currently speaking to, her eyes are almost more like a grey in color with a singular white star in the middle instead of a pupil. But there's no family resemblance, like the chin, like the jawline is different. Just apart from the hair color is kind of similar and the eyes are similar in the fact they have stars in them.
And they are elf.
Apart from that, there's not any obvious connection there. She seems to be genuine. She knew her. In fact, they were close for a time. She hasn't really gone into more detail in that, but that seems honest so far.
Do you know the full story behind why the Archmage is doing this, other than just the gods told her?
No. I think that is the reason. Primarily, she had a vision of some kind, or something, hallucination, whatever it was, and became a bit obsessed. That's when we grew apart. I found myself more open to ideals that previously I would have probably ignored. I'm sure now that the word has gotten out of what they're attempting, other people will also find themselves in a similar position. It's change. People are naturally resistant to change. No one likes it. It doesn't necessarily mean that people will be willing to take life or anything of that regard, but even having people present in the streets protesting, it's not safe for them to do it right now because of the ongoing actions of the Watchers. They're repressing any kind of opposition, and I feel like if people do have concerns, they will simply choose to leave, and maybe that is maybe that's for the best. Let the ones who wish to go. But she is quite something. I wouldn't doubt her ability.
So you believe it will work if it happens?
You mean the Ascension?
Yes.
I have no doubt. If she has set her eyes on something, it will work. It may not be perfect, But if she has set a deadline or a date, she's very good at keeping track of her capabilities. She would never overassess herself. Everything she does is calculated, calm. She would be what I would describe as my more logical half, if that makes sense.
I was really hoping you'd have more of a plan. No offense.
I can't say that I'm much. I wasn't the cell leader here. Unfortunately, they were the one visibly impaled on the stained glass window at the front of the cathedral. I simply stepped up because someone needed to.
Where's Tracky?
He's not here.
He's not here?
Did he ever come here, or did he leave as soon as he seen what was going on?
He was here briefly. Drummed up some influence and drive and set us in motion. Communicated a lot with Hereford, and that was our previous cell leader. Then he headed to Bolia to help out there. They were having a much worse time.
Worse than here?
I would say so, based on what we heard.
We went to the wrong damn city.
Depends how you
Well-
look at
And
it.
we did the spell and everything.
The spell worked, we just didn't get here in time to do it again.
If you need to go to Bolia urgently, you are on the most magical city of all of the Sky Cities.
Oh, it's fine. I'm sure we'll fix it. Next.
And I'm sure the Archmage would gladly pass us off.
Yeah.
But she would have some control of the teleportation network. We are the hub. If you can get to Tillum, you can get to anywhere. That's the motto she so heavily drummed into her last election campaign.
But she did mean everywhere then.
She's very powerful. There's no doubt about it.
So you haven't considered like a assassination or
I physically would be unable to do it. And I don't know if anyone else in our surviving
physically
group-
unable as in you don't have the guts for guts, or like there's something like stopping you.
I have the passion, the drive. I'm mentally capable, but I lack the like you say, a barrier maybe is the best way to describe it.
Can I do an Arcana check to see if
Sure.
I know anything? My Arcana's absolutely shit.
17?
17. Do I know
Could be a
anything?
charm effect. If you're charmed, you can't attack the person who charmed you. Would be the first thing that would kind of highlight you as a barrier. Could be something like a Gaius spell, like an agreement that has been set in stone. If you go against the agreement, you could be at risk of dying from the spell killing you. There are plenty of examples of
Plenty of things that could stop you killing for someone.
100%. Especially if she was close to them. She could have been, like one of her like personal guard or something. Maybe they had to swear an oath. It could be her own like maybe a magical oath. It could be just like, a line she's not willing to cross in herself. I would say with your passive insight, it could be something you pick up. It's unless you ask her and she tells you. There are so many things it could be. It would be hard to inflict it based on someone's expressions alone.
Well, I know that there is magic that would.
There is
Do
magical ways
that.
that would stop you being able to attack someone.
Fair.
But perhaps, if you posit such ideas, maybe that's something you would consider. But again, it's
But there's also the question if someone as logical as her, you'd think she'd have a fallback of somebody to step in line if something did happen to her.
most definitely. but you also have to remember she is almost too logical. She almost lacks that impulsive nature you would need to conceive it.
Yeah, we got impulsive nature by the bucketful.
That's kind of how I describe myself. The decision with the cathedral was not a smart decision doing it when we did. It was a moment we had a chance to, and we took it. We decided this morning it was happening. That's not the... I think that's why it worked. She genuinely believed logically no one would dare at that time do it, and that's why we caught her. That would be her weakness.
And all you needed was a boatload of invisibility potions.
But you out. We had... Well...
If you're
everyone
going to
who
buy
helped-
them in the future, you might not want to buy them all in one go.
Yeah, it was pretty suspicious.
Yeah, out in the open. Even we saw that.
Well, the gods were, this is after a week of relative silence. They were, you might say, a bit more not as on edge as they are this evening.
Well, may I
Watching
suggest
us
you
more.
slowly buy them up before you plan, and then you've got a stockpile for next time.
Well, that would involve planning, which you just said they're not.
I also don't believe
Well,
in
I'm not
doing
saying
the
planning.
same action twice. I think it's a terrible idea. Invisibility
just
potions,
saying-
they'll probably put measures in now. Gods of sea invisibility, I don't know, anything like that. If they get wind that that's what we did. Better to keep it fresh, new. Better we don't even know what we're doing sometimes, you know? Just go with it.
Right.
Look, at the end of the day, she's put this in motion. Now, it's happened. It's out there. It's in the air. It's up to Till now. Whatever they want to happen will happen, and that's... I'm not going to try to convince people or influence them. People will come to their own decisions of whether or not they want to go or they don't. And maybe that's the same thing we need to pick. Maybe we just need to pick. If we're not happy here, maybe we should just go somewhere else. Yes, it's a shame, but like... There's what? Including you three? 9 of us? Because, you know,
Well,
we've got injured who can't really...
11
much.
technically, but the other 2
yeah.
are high at the theater, so.
So there's 9 of us, you're saying. If they cared, they'd be here. And then we cut to the 2 drunk, like a little bit
back.
stoned. You guys are like standing in a line at the amphitheater. If this was like a TV show, the camera would have panned out through the upstairs window of the house you're in, across this, not even like that, just panning and backing away across the street, and it would have lowered down in the frame, and we would have just seen like Beros and Cyrus together, like, you know, like chatting and like, waiting in a long queue of people. There's people walking up and down with tickets in their hand, like trying to like scalp tickets, people who haven't bought them yet. But they're standing like in a ticket queue. Obviously people who got to the front already bought them are gonna walk down, like, you know, yeah, if you don't fancy waiting in the queue, I've got them going here. Tickets here if you want. They're sound like a lot market prices, as you know, about 15% more than what you would pay if you weren't willing to wait. But the queue's not too long. It's only about 20 odd people.
I don't even know what show we're going to see.
Does it matter? As long as something's on that that entertains us, plus crowds, and maybe we'll get a chance to talk about action.
I've never really been to the theater. It's not really something we.
Oh,
do.
it is wonderful. You've got to go. Well, you are going.
Yeah, we're on the line.
Just don't. I wouldn't recommend the food. The food is always way too expensive for what it is. That's why I bring my own snacks.
As you, in this stage of conversation, you're already at the front of the queue. It's taking you that long to have this, like, times, like, whoa. And yeah, and there's an elf woman at the kiosk desk, and she goes like, how many tickets?
Me, my two.
2, yes, 2.
Something. She throws up a little holographic display, and you see the total on there for the 2 of you. It's going to be 300 shits. Bargain.
Bargain.
I'll get this, Cyrus. Do not worry. You're such a good friend to me. I'll get the boof, and
I'll
snap
get
watch.
the drinks, I suppose.
So yeah, you pay the 300 shits, and you're given 2 tickets, and then gesture to step inside. The theater itself is kind of like you see this big amphitheater kind of right before you. Even from where you just paid for the tickets, you can see almost all the way down. There's a bar to your right that kind of like is like an open front, like stone structure, like a square, like a rectangular structure there, like nothing too ornate, just done like a long bar. You also see there is a popcorn stand, like a candy floss stand. You see there's people selling like programs and like the details of the show. And people are being this trickle down through the seats, we're buying drinks going down there as well. Halfway down the aisles, there's a few people, staff, and all the staff are dressed very, very similar. They're dressed in like nice vests, open, unbuttoned shirt, like a little cap, like long kind of like breeches, with like black polished shoes. And kind of like halfway down each of the aisles, of which there are 2 clean aisles that kind of go down the amphitheater. And the amphitheater is a big open, kind of like thrust stage with a rounded front. And they're kind of there selling ice cream down there, and you can see like on the actual like the over the shoulder like dispensers that they have, there's little like projected text going around it, and all this minor illusionary text, and it says like ice cream tubs, 1,000 chits, kind of being paraded around. And yeah, it's a bit of and considering the announcement today, it's
expensive.
surprisingly busy here.
Do you want an ice cream or beer?
Beer, the ice cream seems exceptionally expensive. Fucking hell, 1,000 chits. I don't think our rooms cost that much.
I'm not really sure what it is.
Neither am I, but it's expensive.
Better to stick to what we know and can afford. Because I couldn't even afford a single ice cream.
Let's get some ale and go find some seats. We want to go quite high. I want to be able to see the theater, just in case there's anybody we know.
Yes, good idea. And then Cyrus will like make his way down towards the beer.
Yep, so you kind of head over to the bar.
Oh.
Again, like, you eventually get yourself to the front. After probably a little bit of elbow barging, probably from Cyrus. He probably didn't have the most courteous manners. Among like the elf theater goers as well, who are all dressed quite nicely, and like it's like not quite
You
like
don't
Night of
even
the
have
Opera,
a shirt on.
yeah, definitely who are a bit more well off among themselves, or at least think them well off.
You gotta use the horn to like around.
Cyrus probably is still wearing his badge because he's like, hey, we're a big deal.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Out of the way. Hey, I saved the city. You can wait for a
You
beer.
put the badge back on.
Cyrus,
Well,
you're
we're not
relieved
doing
to
anything
see.
inconspicuous.
You're relieved, Cyrus, to see for the price of 1 ice cream, you can buy 4 eels.
Yes.
8
Cyrus
tails
will
it
get-
is.
Yep. He will get how many is how many is this?
250 chits per eel. Here,
Yeah, he'll get 2.
so 500 chits.
Making his way back up.
I don't know if this is ominous or something, but my phone has just popped up as with a notification. Would you like to watch this YouTube? And it's Lord of the Rings, the beacons are lit. I'm like, oh god, what's going on?
We're about to light some beacons, boys.
But you two find yourself a seat, probably not quite in the back row because maybe it's a bit exposed, maybe like a couple of rows down. And as everyone kind of begins to settle down,
Oh,
the
it's in
sun,
the back row, everyone's canoodling.
the sun is beginning to set, and the darkness is kind of falling over. And as it does, these like magical, like bullseye lanterns like illuminate the stage, like doom doom. And down there you see there is a very charming looking elven man. He stands just over 6 foot. He's a little bit older in the years. He's probably over a good bit over 500, you would say. He's definitely, not quite a
Man,
spring chicken anymore.
He's in his 500s.
He wears a nice long tailcoat, big thigh high, kind of like boots that kind of come up in a very like big like ornate style with like big laces done all the way up. Very much like a showman's garb about him. Like he's got like big puffy shoulder pads to kind of amplify his form in strange ways. And as he speaks, it's as if he is using thaumaturgy to amplify his voice and project it, but it becomes very apparent to you that the actual natural channels in the amphitheater itself are projecting the volume up to you through these little like narrow little pipes kind of connected up. So even though you're quite far back, you still hear him very clearly, like as if he was standing maybe only 10 foot away from you, despite being probably a good 50, 20, like 50, 70 foot down, because you're quite far in the back. And you hear, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so very much for coming to this evening's show, The Terror of Tilm. If you all could please take your seats, make sure you set your hollow straps to mute. If you would like to have a drink at the bar, please get so now before the show begins. You may be heckled if you are caught ushering, squeezing past your neighbors. If you could all please settle down, the show will begin in about 5 minutes. Thank you so very much. And he gives a little bow, steps off. A few people clap, like not sure what they're supposed to do. And there's a good and that hubbub about people talking amongst themselves. A good little drone of people all there. And yeah, you have a little. That was your 5-minute curtain call, I guess, in a sense. Is there anything you all would like to do in the lead up to the show, or anything you're planning on doing during the show? Or
specifically, I'll kind of lean in and whisper to Cyrus. If we can find someone of importance here, we may be able to, I don't know, worm my way to them and, I don't know, rough them up or see if we can find some information. A member of the council would quite suffice. Maybe a show like this is something that they would attend. It's quite a classy affair from what I've seen of these slightly primpy elves.
Yes. But we don't want to cause too much of a scene, I'm sure tensions are running high at the minute with the whole announcement, so maybe persuasion or getting in their good books, buying them a drink might be a better tactic than simply
At least on the weekend, until we get them alone. Maybe let's find someone first before we make any solid plans.
I mean, if you want me to start a fight, I can start a fight. It's very easy, you spill a drink.
I'm very aware that you can start a fight.
Yeah, we just start a fight, and then you grab the important person, sneak them out during the kabuffle, and then I find you later. It'll be fine.
We will see.
I like that you guys were the ones tasked with being non-suspicious, and you're like, what if we just kidnapped a noble?
Hey, we are very stoned right now.
I mean, if you want to make me a perception check, so you can see anyone in the crowd who you recognize or anything like that, you certainly can.
Yeah. Do you want to both just have a look?
Yeah, you can both roll individually, or one can roll with advantage.
19.
I got 14.
14, Barrel's looking around. There are a few areas of the seating banks where they kind of widen out flat for 2 rows, and they almost form little makeshift boxes. They're not quite as private as a traditional theater box, but they're more space where a servant could, be at hand, and, things could be set up, tables and things like that. Whereas you don't really have the luxury here. Anything you bring down, you have to nurse in your lap. It's very much like that kind of environment. They're just smooth stone benches most of the time, but on those flat other areas, there are comfy seats with plush cushions, things like that, and there are people set up there. Having a quick scan from the back barrels, you don't see anyone you recognize. But Cyrus, you do recognize from whenever you'd moved around the back of the cathedral earlier, you catch the back of someone's head who you're pretty sure was at the announcement earlier today on the stage, and you see you recognize them just because of their hunched kind of appearance. They're an old fucking elf. They appear to be, if you're correct, they would have held the title of the Keeper of the Ancient Tomes. They're kind of they were the one who was speaking a lot about the logistics of things and how the advancements of knowledge and all that kind of thing. And very much a kind of information keeper, effectively. Is someone who you clock as, potentially being present. And then they're, good about 40 odd foot from you, kind of diagonally down to the right.
Are they in a box?
Yes, they are. They have a few people around them as well.
Yeah, Cyrus will nudge Barros and then kind of Wasn't he at the announcement? The old guy. They're all pretty old because they're elves, but the older guy.
Oh, I think the one of them had a hunch, but I'm not 100%. But if you think it's
pretty
someone,
sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was there.
okay. I don't think we have time to go grab them now and talk to them. But maybe at the intermission, we can go and introduce ourselves. Maybe schmooze them a bit with our medals, and I don't know, get in the box and say we wanted to. We've heard legend of them and all of this.
Yes, I'll let you do the talking. You're better at that than I am. I can flex.
You are a big, muscly gentleman. I'm
Cyrus
sure
flexes, and then you hear from the row behind someone be like, I hope it doesn't do that at all. Shoot, it's terribly blocking my vision.
Cyrus just throw him a look and then put his arm down.
And you see this man's wearing a top hat, like 2 foot tall.
Tilts his head so his horns sit slightly higher.
Can no longer see center stage.
I think we'll wait till the intermission for our chance to strike.
The sun now kind of is casting beautiful pinks and oranges across the night sky, and the lights, the glowing lanterns begin to dim slightly, and there's a bit of ambience to the amphitheater itself. It's a warm enough, pleasant evening. It's not too chilly considering it's still kind of early springtime. It's quite a pleasant night to be outside in the open air, and the show begins. The show starts off as almost a bit too boring for Cyrus. It's quite lovey-dovey. It's about a couple who have just moved to Tilm, and they're finding their way in the place. Then they've moved into the Undercity, which means they can afford, but they're so excited to get off the surface, and they're two half elves who are starting their life out together, and just at about the quarter mark in, that's whenever Cyrus's ears perk up, because suddenly it becomes very apparent it's not a lovey-dovey slice of life piece, as the meal of the couple gets butchered in the street by a murderer. Cyrus is disappointed to see that the blood is actually just a load of red silk handkerchiefs that are being pulled out of this man's shirt collar. Oh no, it is too much for me. Very, very, very dramatic, quite hammed up. And then it becomes the focus of his partner, who sets about, and you see the Watchers on stage, and they're big, and they're wearing effectively what is cardboard armor, big long blue cloaks that are definitely not just recycled curtains, and it's unfortunately we do not know who has killed your husband, ma'am, and it's oh no, I will have to find out who did this myself. The Watchers are so incapable, and I love this whole hamming up, and people laugh at that, and And eventually, by the halfway point, this woman is almost crazy woman on the wall, spider web of ideas of who this murderer could have been, and there's so many theories and twists and turns. It seems like the most likely murderer by the interval is the captain of the guard. The Watchers could be behind it.
Yes.
And it's very such drama. And then just as it's getting interesting, you're finally kind of getting on the edge of your seat a little bit. The lights come back up again, and you see the familiar elf from before stepping on stage, who has been playing the part of the masked murderer. He steps out and he was and that's the interval, folks, to see if the very charming killer does in fact get caught. You'll have to stick around after, please. Enjoy some beverages at the bar, use the restrooms, and we'll see you here in 15 minutes. Thank you so much. Let's go. And
it's even funnier to imagine that if Cyrus doesn't know what the theater is, when the lights come up, he would just assume that's the end.
I was gonna do an idea, but no, you've said it. I'll do it anyway.
Do it anyway.
So, do you think Renestre is gonna Is there a part 2? Is she going to find out? Is there a second play? Do we have to come back tomorrow?
No. This is intermission. It's like a little break, just to go and relieve yourself, pee, shit, get a drink, more ale. Because you can't go have an hour and only go one ale and then not be able to go up and get another ale. It'll be too long.
Yes, you make absolute perfect sense. I really hope she gets the captain, dickhead. He deserves to die.
Right. Speaking of which, let's go.
What?
What we were supposed to do here.
Oh shit! Yeah.
This is quite a good show, though.
You see that, unfortunately, the keeper of the ancient tomes doesn't seem like he's going to get his own drinks, because it looks like his hand boy, his page boys are getting drinks for him. But kind of about the 6-7 minute mark, he does eventually stand up, and with it like leaning heavily on his staff, he hobbles his way up the many steps to the top of the amphitheater, and is making his way towards the large building, which has like symbols of like restrooms open.
Oh yeah, murk him in the toilets.
I think now's our chance. Let's.
But the man's peeing. You don't introduce yourself while a man's peeing. You don't talk at the urinals. That's a rule.
We'll feign it down to your ignorance.
I can do that.
You introduce yourself, and I'll come in and apologize, and we'll basically do this the other way around.
Sure, and then Cyrus will just follow into the men's room.
I will pin my medal on, in preparation.
Yep, perfect. And you hear there's a bit of a buzz from the audience, like you're all getting drinks as well. People are genuinely seem to be enjoying the show. It seems to be going quite well.
I enter the men's room.
In the men's room, you see, by the time you get there, the old man, he's propped his staff up, like at the sinks behind him, and he's got his back facing it. And he's like got one arm up on the wall, like leaning forward. And you hear him just like muttering to himself in Elvish under his breath.
Speak Elvish, I don't know what he's saying. I'll just like go to the urinal beside him, immediately break
you're the
it,
worst
break it.
person.
Yeah, I'm breaking all etiquette here. Immediately beside him, take it out, start having a pee.
Yep.
Oh, I wasn't really vibing with the show in the first quarter, but see when he died, yeah, that got my attention. And now that she's on a murder spree, I'm will she get him? It has to be. She has to be able to get him. I mean, there's no way that she can't. It'd be unethical.
You see, he's like buttoning up his trousers, and he turns and goes like, "Oh, I didn't see you. They jumped up on me." And then he reaches like, and you see he has a little ear horn. He pulls his ear, goes like, "Sorry, chap. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to jump you. It was very tall." Just pat your shoulder. Have a good one. He starts going over to the sinks. Gets washing his hands. He puts the horn back on.
Upon seeing Cyrus start freaking out, I'll go up and be like, "Excuse me, sir. Are you the keeper of the ancient tomes?"
Oh, yes. Not on work right now, so if you'd like to, you can always...
No, I'm simply a fan of your work. My name is Beros Darkhoof. You may have heard of me and my crew. We helped save one of your sister cities.
Make me a persuasion check,
like...
please. Advantage.
He's a keeper of ancient tombs. He might not have heard of you.
24.
It does ring a bell, actually. Yes, Naruth, I believe we're having trouble. You might have helped him out. Recognize the badge, at least. Well done. Keep it up. There's only I think you'll find here is pretty much under control, more or less. Probably a few little devils running around, We'll
Cyrus tilts his horn inward as he finishes peeing.
Yes. Would it be too rude of me to ask may I join you and watch the rest of your show? I simply wish to pick your brains and see how you enjoy the show. fully.
Maybe your persuasion check again, Barros. Got a flat roll this time.
He doesn't want to
Oh.
share his booth.
You're bugging him.
Oof.
Standing him.
Well, if you'd like to pick my brain about the show, I'll probably go into a nice little pub after. Maybe the Bit and Bridle was quite a nice one over the Subcard Maximus, gambling and enjoy the evening. Or maybe the Wizard's Quill near the library is quite a quiet one. Just see what happens. But the booth, unfortunately, I'm meeting someone. They're only coming in the interval, so unfortunately the seat will be taken. Sorry, boy.
You don't need to apologize. Maybe I can buy you an ale or a fine wine after the show, as a thank you.
Never say no to that, of course. And if you don't catch my reason, you can always catch me at my place of work, the Great Library of Tilm. My working hours are generally the first 5 working days of every work week. I don't work the latter half, so I can enjoy myself. I'll be in work tomorrow.
Well, hopefully I can catch you tonight.
Indeed, I should certainly imagine so. If there's nothing else, I really need to get back before the show starts. It does take me quite a while to get down the stairs. Lovely talking to you, whatever your name was. And he puts the one back on, grabs his staff, and he just rambles to himself. See, whenever he's on the conversation, you're not engaged, he just speaks in Elvish, constantly talking things. You can make an insight check if you'd like, Barros.
Yes, please.
I feel like Cyrus is just standing at the urinal. He's not peeing anymore. He's just like
Just
"I don't wanna
standing
move."
facing
It's-
away.
You speak Elvish,
It's
Barros?
just awkward.
Yes.
It sounds like he is just coming out with complete incoherent babble, but you do manage to piece it together. It's almost like he's like making up his own riddles the way he's talking. He's doing things like counting the number of ceiling tiles and then counting the number of doors, converting that into the numbered letters of the alphabet and then speaking it aloud. It's almost like the way his mind is running at a pace that you can struggle to keep up with. But the only reason you clock it is you see his eyes go and you watch them like dart like and then after that kind of moment happens, that's when he begins reciting things like almost making like buzzwords to help him remember things, like, and as he's walking away, things like 15 tiles on the ceiling of that room, and he's just constantly all the information around him is just being constantly taken and fed in and fed in and fed in.
Cool. As he leaves, I would like to perch up to the urinal next to Cyrus and start peeing.
The rules!
He said he's going to go speak to someone. It might be worth that, now that I've introduced myself, maybe you can go and find a seat somewhere around there and see who his visitor is.
Good idea. I'll do that now because I've already finished peeing, and then Cyrus will turn around and wash his hands, and then start heading out.
Cyrus, are you going to move to the original seats, or are you going to try to get closer to his booth?
I'm gonna try and get closer.
I will return to my original seat. That's not too arouse suspicion.
Yeah. You settle back down again, and just before the show starts up, you see that there is a female high elf who kind of does join him at the booth. Taps him on the shoulder, and he spins around, goes like, Eloin, please sit down. It's really good show, I think the Pie Master's going to find a way to get away with all this. You really have to look at it. He's the one you should always suspect the Pie Master. He's finally going to get off that woman that he wants to so much. And you see, she says something like, "Yes, of course, Keeper." And she kind of smiles quite kindly to him, and he goes like, "Yes, no, my family are doing very well. Thank you for asking." And he's made no effort to lift his ear horn to listen to this woman at all. And it becomes very apparent he hasn't been listening to the show at all because he's not lifted up to his ear once. The entire time you guys have clocked him. He's no idea what the fuck's going on. He's just been watching.
He's just vibing.
And yeah, she throughout the performance up ahead, the second half, she does lean in, speak to him a little bit, and anytime she does, he doesn't realize, so she taps on his shoulder and goes, "Oh yes, no, I know what you mean. like that, like, and she's like not asking, she's not like, she's like, so what are you doing tomorrow? And he's like, yes, indeed, quite right. And like, that's like a very difficult man to have any kind of level of communication with. The second half is just as invigorating as the last. It builds in higher stakes. Eventually, the woman finds herself like depicted on the top of a high-rise building, and it's kind of done because the stage itself has a large, long building that runs the back of the entire stage. So it's kind of like a thrust stage that comes out. Think similar to how like a modern-day concert kind of runs, like that long, like almost jutting out into the crowd. And then at the back, there's still the main, more traditional stage there, which has like a multi-tiered set that can be climbed and things like that. And she's on like one of the higher edges, like holding on the bars. And you see the captain of the guards as like watchers as approaching her. And you see they're depicting as much as they can Lithirian, the current the head of the Watchers, kind of like who you would have encountered as whenever you were actually at the Arcane Costello. And he's kind of like approaching her, and he's got like his like sword drawn, which is like this like, heavily painted like pipe effectively, which has had a load of like tassel tape and tinsel all wrapped around it to make it sparkle and glow like it's magical. And he's just there, like, there's a very epic scene. He's like, don't jump! You don't know what you're doing! You're making a big mistake! He's like, I'm not gonna give you the satisfaction! And as it's happening, you see another individual step out behind him who looks very similar to the one who's there. And he goes like, not so fast, Itheron! And he spins around and goes, Litheron, my evil twin brother! And there's like a big, like in the audience of like, this video is like, you did it! You killed those people! It's like, and now I'm going to have to kill you as well, brother! And there's a big epic, like, on the top, like, sword fight. Like, lots of big sweeping moves, like, jumping over the sword. Like, the classic, like, turning around, pirouetting over the shoulder. Like, it's Irish, like, that would never work in real life. And, and this big epic moment, and it cultivates with the two brothers locked, like, in a sword clash, and the woman kind of in between them, like, looking, and she's just like, and she has the moment of panic, and like one of the person was like, do it, push him off now, I can't hold him as long. It's like, no, don't listen to him, it's not, I'm the real one. And she just goes like, and they all three of them, and she like tackles them, and they all fall down, cascading, and just sort of hit the ground. If ever false spell kicks in, the lights go dark, and then the whole cast are all there, hands in hand, applause, the lights come back up, they do like 3 bars, someone throws a bouquet of roses down, several pairs of underwear jettisoned in the direction of the stage. At the 3rd bar, they all exit, there's a big, a few wolf, like whistling, things like that. They come back out for one final bar, and as they do so, the leader of the troupe takes off his wig that he was wearing, the blonde wig, and it's like, thank you so much for joining us again, ladies and gentlemen. You'll see people coming down the aisles now with some lovely little collection boxes, if you wouldn't mind. Unfortunately, we do not get any direct commission from the theatre. Our money is made solely by your generosity. If you do have any spare chits at hand, you can simply either donate them by tapping, or if you have any physical currency or items that you would be happy to part with, so long as they are valuable, please. We'd like things that actually can help us survive. We are starving artists after all. Please feel free, put it on the box on your way out, and there'll be some by the eggs as well. Thank you so much. We hope to see you next time. If you did enjoy the show, please tell your friends. Please come back and watch it again. We will be here for the next month, and we will be here when we ascend to wherever the fuck we're going. Good night, everybody. And then, like, a little bit fast. Yeah, most people don't put any money in the boxes and begin making the way out. That's because they can't, like, head down, like...
Much like real life.
A few people do put some money in, but most seem to be avoiding the donation, the encouraged donation.
They get stared down by the people that are holding the boxes as you stand up, just like.
Oh yeah, whenever the actual magistrate and the keeper are leaving, you would notice the keeper probably pulls out a solid silver coin, and he drops it in the box. And Elwyn makes a few gestures on a hollow strap, and you see a transaction illuminated as well there. As they leave, they try to set a good example. Yeah, they begin exiting.
Don't exactly give a lot to
They don't say of anything of notoriety during the show, do they?
She's trying to like talk to him about something. he's making no effort to really listen to her most of the time, it seems like. And if she does like ever instruct him to like bring the horn up to him, he probably just once does it up. He starts speaking. He's like, "We're trying to quiet," and like hush, we'll talk about it later. And, like, the horn goes back down.
Cyrus is probably going to try and follow them, but at a distance, whilst like looking for Barros, being like,
Barros will go to Cyrus as soon as the show's over. Upon passing the stairs, he will just put like a donation of like 36 chits.
Yep. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate it. And it's the little boy who was playing the pie maker. All the cast are there, like taking collections. It's like not just stuff.
Cyrus will probably put a silver coin into the box that the main actress was holding, and he'd be like, "I thought you deserved better at the end." As she walks.
Oh, thank you so much. As you're walking away, you probably hear like a discussion like, "Cylindra, can you believe it? That's the first person pointing the box that hasn't said I've got great tits." And yeah, if you guys want to follow,
Does shit.
if you guys want to follow, she's the lead actress. You tell me. Yeah, if you guys want to follow them, you certainly can. But while that's happening, meanwhile, back in the townhouse, you're all kind of like, he goes like, "So 9 of you then, if they're not taking this seriously."
They are. They're just.
Doing other things.
And we want to keep a low profile, so rather than
sort of being watched.
5 of us turn up at your door, 2 and a squirrel.
Fair point.
Also, she already like has a squirrel, so the squirrel's not weird.
Like, which point Ash will kind of pull out
The pet squirrel is quite weird, but her having the squirrel with her isn't seen as weird because we've already pre-established the squirrel.
Fair enough. I mean, I wonder, you've not been in the city long, have you? I wonder if they even be aware that she has a
They are.
They are.
They are.
They're aware.
They're aware
They
of
see me with the
everything.
squirrel.
Ah, okay. Fair enough then. If it works, it works. We don't plan on being here long. This is one of the houses. Odds downstairs. We'll need to probably mix it up, get a new safe house. This one's quite close. I imagine anything with a certain radius might be searched, so you probably need to make sure we're far away from here. We're probably moving down to the Undercity in the early hours of the morning.
We tend to go to the Temple of an Apple the odd time for tranquility.
Fair enough. The only problem with the temple is it's off the main island. Hard to get there without being noticed, or so unless you own the skiff.
Yeah. With maybe in a follower of an apple, it's not so much out of the ordinary.
Good to keep those things spread out anyway. Well, look, like I said at the start, I have no interest in doing what the Archmage does. I don't wish to sway people's decision. I'm not here to sway yours. If you have any questions for me, I'll answer them as honestly as I'm able without compromising ourselves.
So what is your grand? I know you've said that you want to stop, but in the grand scheme of things, how does
What's the plan?
What
if
are you
we
gonna
stop
do
her, I
after
think is
that?
what he's asking. Power vacuum and all that.
Look, there's many things that the Archmage stands for and believes in that maybe not everyone does agree with, so other people do agree with, and that's not really my place to make judgments for. I think right now, the way that they are going, which was eventually trying to bring all of the Sky Cities into the Expanse, is not a good idea. That's why I joined the Dried Seas originally. I think it's not safe. It's been fairly rushed. This has all been developed in the last couple of months. It's untested, and if they're going to attempt to send an entire city up at once, including people close to me, friends, it wouldn't sit right with me just to know what was happening and let it go by.
So what you're saying is your plan isn't to, per se, overthrow.
No.
Your plan is to prevent.
Exactly.
So what's
Which-
stopping them doing it again?
Hopefully, the show of strength would have been enough. We were hoping if we could bring Nareth down, it would hopefully cause them to think twice about what they were doing. If they saw that the general populace was strong enough to do that, and if there was enough belief in it, it might have encouraged them to think twice about it.
But
I think
don't
this is some kind of ego play. It's not for the
But
good
you-
of the city.
The problem is, especially where we've just come from, by doing what you've done, you've turned the people against you.
Yes.
You've not turned the people to your side. So what you just said there is completely opposite to what you have done.
You're correct. You have to bear in mind that we lost in Nareth. There's no doubt about that. What we set out to do, we failed. We didn't achieve our goals. The people who helped us, they knew the final intention. They knew of the failsafe, so we told them. But we had no way to get into the city's networks, to spread that word publicly without causing even more mass panic. And if we did, the act of surprise, I imagine, wouldn't have been there. And I think they probably wouldn't even been able to get one of those engines down.
Why the engines at all, though? If you just want people to make their own decisions, why not spread the word?
Unfortunately, not all of the Dryad's Tears share my simple hope. Some of them do genuinely want the land of Kemnor to stay together. They have religious reasons, or a lot of them have a lot of faith in nature, especially with the ties to the goddess. They don't think that splitting the planet up the way it already is they think it's already gone too far. But the Expanse is the final straw. That's what drove them to action. They've always been peaceful in their protest, until we found out what the plan was. And then word kind of got out. I helped blow the whistle, you could say.
Well, I think if you're going to plan to... The problem is, at the moment, you are, in the nicest sense, half-arsing it. You've either got to go full whack, or you got to go... you need to back off completely.
It's not really...
You can't leave it in the middle.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to wait and see what the people want, and I will go with that. And if that means 10 days from now, or whenever the cutoff is, 9 days, I'm getting aboard a ship and leaving my home city behind, I'll be sad to see it go, but I will do it, if that's what the people want. Look, at the end of the day, it's just what I believe, right? I'm not... not one ounce of me has any will to become a politician or lead or is even capable of that. That's not what I was made for.
Speaking of what you were made for, don't know how to ask this in a way that doesn't sound weirdly racist. Why are your eyes like that? Are you one of her? Are you what she is? Are you the same thing? I know
I'm-
you're elves. I'm not
Yes, I'm
completely
an elf.
stupid. But like she is not anything that we have seen before, and your eyes kind of do the thing.
Make me a persuasion check.
I'm not very persuasive. I am
That's a change.
just a guy. 13.
It's a... let's call it an unfortunate side effect of my condition.
I know all about unfortunate side effects of conditions.
Well, does that mean what she's got is an unsolved side effect of her condition?
No.
Do you know what's caused what she...
You got space rabies?
Archmage is she has had a change on a biological level, to my understanding. That's something we were trying to figure out. Why it happened or how.
Do you know when?
it was right after she said she had this vision from the gods.
Hmm.
They blessed her, she said. That's what the general consensus was.
Yeah, I don't buy
And
that.
then she commissioned us to help. I'm the last one of her team.
Commissioned? What are you? We're trying to help. Come on. Secrets upon secrets. If we get caught here, we're all dead anyway.
With all due respect, I only met some of you today. And I don't really feel like having secrets to strangers is untoward. Especially when, like I've said, I'm happy to just let the people see what they want to see and do what they want to do. And if I can help them one way or another, I'm not going to lead them like sheep. I want them to do what they think and believe in is right. It's not easy, knowing what I know, but I don't think it's supposed to be. I'm fairly new to all of this.
Astra, Volgir, I'm going to need one of you to say something because I know the next thing I'm going to say is going to be insulting. So I need one of you to jump in. I've identified the thought and I'm not going to say it.
I will ask for a repeat because someone from work just gave me a message there. Apologies. I got distracted.
She was basically saying...
Fuck off, I'm not telling you my secrets.
She's basically saying, I've only just met you, I'm not going to share what I deem as personal information with myself beyond what you already know. Based on Atlas's initial push, because no one else had tried to push. Atlas was on her own there, no one was helping her. And then she basically said that she wanted the people to kind of make up their own mind, and if she could help them one way to help, if she deems it in her interest and like a shared interest to help, she will. But if they go against it, she has no interest in helping them and will sadly let them make what she deems a wrong decision. But she doesn't want to tell them it's wrong. She's like, it's not my choice. It's not my decision to make. She doesn't feel like she has a I mean, what's everyone's passive insight?
Well, passive
17.
insight 12.
16.
So
Bloody
Atlas
hell, why
and
is my
Astra,
passive-
you would think she genuinely doesn't believe that her opinion has weight or merit behind it to influence people, as if she doesn't have like a right to. The way she speaks about it, there's something weird about it. But the way that is clear with those kind of rules, that's clear enough. And that's probably about as much as you get at the minute. And she's not willing to share, like, because she doesn't know you.
I know, but I'm going to keep pushing.
And that's only notice to them too, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can discuss that privately, but unfortunately for 12, you would pick up that she's a bit probably standoffish towards Atlas and her constant probing now. But apart from that, nothing, you know.
So basically, you don't want to fully commit to anything. You just want to sit on the sideline and basically say, if it doesn't happen, it's not my fault. The people decided it.
Well, it's not my decision, it's theirs.
Are you not part of the people?
I don't feel like I am.
How many people will stand by and say it's not my decision, it's theirs? I come from a place where everybody expected somebody else to step up, and it did not end well.
Look, I've got as much right to an opinion about what the people of the city want to do as all of you.
So you're not from here?
No. Tillman's my home.
Then you have
all I've
more
known.
opinion than we do. We've been here a day, 2. We have no opinion to make in this place. And yet somehow we're here, trying to risk our hide to give people an opinion.
Look, I've risked a lot to even be in this position. I had to throw away everything I knew to get here, and maybe I have thought I was doing the right thing, but look, you weren't here the last 2 weeks. You didn't see what I saw. You didn't go through what I went through, which was a lot. Believe me, I can't be a leader. I can't make those decisions. It's not in my... It's not in my capability to do that.
Then who will do it? So you're saying you want to affect change and change things, but you don't want to take responsibility for your own action.
That's not what I'm saying at all. I take full
Well, it sounds like
responsibility of
it.
everything I've done, but I can't
She
make
doesn't
that
want to force
decision.
the people like the archmages.
Exactly. That's exactly right. There are things that stop me from doing things. Things that maybe I think are correct, but I can't do them. I can't even tell you why. Even if I wanted to. Even if I trusted you with my whole heart.
This makes you a very trusted character.
I honestly, I know it sounds foolish and insane, but the fact that I'm telling you that should show that I am.
Yeah, alright.
I'm not asking you to make these decisions. If you think that you want to help this city and stop it from happening, great, we're on the same page. If you don't, and you want to go chase down Tracky, fine, I can tell you where to find him. I can't get you there, I don't have that influence, but I can tell you where to find him. I know what he was doing. He reported in about 3 days ago. But
Wait. May we leave via your back door? We're trying to keep a low profile.
Certainly, just go downstairs, I'll let you out myself.
If we were to be able to change things or whatever, who would you trust? Just as a genuine person, not as a leader or whatever, who would you want in government or in control of the city? Would you want a democracy sort of thing, or how do you feel?
Anarchy.
I think that the people should ultimately decide. It's their city, it's their call. But again, if I could do it, if I was physically capable of doing it, I at least understand that yes, someone needs to.
If something were to happen to the Archmage, would you be able to?
I don't know if I would be here after that.
Okay. Can I ask her roll the Arcana or something to see if she can?
Sure.
Can I help with
Figure
that in
it
any
out.
way? I just...
Yeah, I mean, if you think that there's some kind of magical connection there, you can roll an Arcana check, and Atlas can try to help. She can put your noggins together, or if you're just trying to like draw out more meaning from her words, you can make an insight check.
I feel like she's just trying to piece the puzzles together. Maybe Arcana.
I'll try another insight.
Sure.
See
And I
if
will
I
say,
can
if
work
you
out
think it is some
anything
kind of
from
like
there.
Arcana thing, you guys probably have spells that can help you with that.
5. I thought that was a 15, but the dice was hiding it.
24.
24 Atlas. Atlas, the way she is, for lack of a better term, pussyfooting around subjects, it's not that she doesn't want to necessarily tell you these things. You think she physically is incapable of
Cannot.
doing so, not because she's worried if she says something might happen, as in it is in her built-in.
Like, she physically cannot do the thing.
Yeah, it's not in her, like, this, as in, I can reach my hand over, pick this up, and hold it in my hand. She can't do the reach over to pick it up to hold it in her hand. She lacks that ability.
Lacks the ability.
And of a 24, Atlas,
Is she some sort of weird clone thing?
yeah, there's something
Yeah?
about her. You realize
Yeah!
she hasn't actually taken a breath this whole time.
Sorry, I'm still basking in the I called that.
You would say, Alpha
I was
24,
thinking about
she's
City. She
behaving
looked
in the
different.
manner of some kind of, like, simulacrum, perhaps?
That's what I was thinking, but I was like, that's stupid.
But it's not like one you would traditionally say. And I'll say for the 24, it looks like she is a simulacrum in which the original creator has taken all the aspects of themselves that perhaps they deem unnecessary or
Oh, so she is
undesired,
literally her other half.
and has pumped it in there.
Better
Yes.
half.
You're dealing with Archmagus Elara Virulun's simulacrum. Her name is Elara Nightshade.
Alice
like
will just
that.
tilt her head and then just go, oh. Okay.
I
And,
don't know how to
yeah.
spell that, but I'm just going to write other half. Clue.
So they're both
You can't spell simulacrum off the
they're
top of your
both
head.
Elara. They are both
They are
Elara.
both
but
Elara.
she introduced herself as Elara Nightshade. But you would know the Archmage introduced herself as Archmage Elara Virulun. But yeah, you think that she is perhaps
But yeah, Alice will not
an
let
arcane construct.
Alice will not let on to anyone that she has clicked at. She'll just go, oh, okay.
And where she says things like, I can't, it's not in my nature, it's not in my
Yeah.
capability to lead. It's because she doesn't have the
Yeah.
capability to lead because the leader
Because it's
has
not
kept
in
that.
there.
So things like impulsive decision making, like
It's all
reckless
she's got.
behavior, that's it. That's all she has. Like, so it's things.
She
Caring for
literally doesn't
people,
have it in her-
impulsive
in her.
behavior.
Yeah, believing with the people, like what, even things down to like little niggle doubts in your head of like maybe the people should make these decisions. Like no, they shouldn't. I'm removing that aspect of myself. It's that she's taken all of her bits that she maybe doesn't deem. That is your best theory.
Okay.
Okay.
That's my
Maybe
best
we
theory. Apparently. Which was already
We
kind of my theory. I'm proud of myself.
Well then. I was thinking it. I just was. That's why I asked the question. Okay. Well, we'll not keep you much longer. We'll go back, brainstorm a little bit more of our group, and if we want to meet you again, maybe you could come find us. So it's less. Where are we staying again? The Bit and Bridal.
Bit and bridal.
How would I know if you were to meet me again? I wouldn't
Well,
send
how
myself.
would
but
we
send one of the
find
boys.
you?
Hard. Our safe houses would change constantly.
Code word or I don't know.
There is currently, including the one who's unconscious downstairs, 9 of us.
I'll tell you what. If you see a red piece of cloth on the roof of the inn, then we are there ready for a meeting.
Don't say ask for Mr. Pipperton.
Just come in and we'll meet you at the bar.
So what was that again? Sorry.
If
Just-
you see
if
a
these-
red cloth on the roof of the Bit and Bridal,
Alrighty.
I'll try
Come
and
meet
put
us
it
at
as
the
high as I
bar.
can.
I'll have someone check on the daily.
The table at the back of the bar.
Table at the back. Got it. If there's nothing else, I can let you out, or you can.
I will just mentally remember the bar and just make sure that there's a table that I'm roughly describing correctly.
There's one like a little booth kind of in the far corner.
There was a
Yeah.
poker table, I think.
Astor, you should leave out the front.
I'm gonna
You
head
were seen
out.
coming in the front. It'll look weird.
Yeah, I'm gonna poke my head out and check, and then time it so that.
And maybe I should
me-
also leave the front because Vulgar came in my mask.
Yes.
But Vulgar,
should
you
go-
should sneak out the back.
Well, I'm gonna sneak out and try and blend in with the crowd as they as someone walks past, because I'm small
think
enough that I might be able
Maybe
to
we
do that.
should. Is the theater starting to come out now?
Yes, at this point, that's when everyone's kind of trickling away.
We should maybe try and like merge in with the.
Can I get stealth checks from
Theater.
Beros and Cyrus, please?
Yes, you may. Oh no.
So you don't
He's
see
still
Beros,
high as
but you
balls.
do see, clear as day, Cyrus, who must have got that tune stuck in his head of the Mission Impossible theme tune that the squirrel was chirping as he's bumming it to himself as he is currently like literally has come out of the theater, is walking along with a group of people, stops suddenly, does a forward roll for no reason in the middle of the street, runs across the road, goes flush against the wall.
So basically just Kronk.
Yeah. And you kind of see like the keeper like turn his head over, like, you know, that tiefling seems to be absolutely fucking wankered. He could barely hold himself up in the bathroom. I've seen him. His prostate's gone by the sounds of it. Sound like a fucking like burst drain pipe. And then you kind of hear like next to him like the just like a why you of all people have been tasked with tonight? As like they're walking along and he's just like, what's that? Yes, no, we will get some wine, don't worry. And just like mumbling along.
They wouldn't be happen to be walking past the bar at that point.
They're kind of like more crossing the threshold that
Oh.
you've kind of like peered out. The bar is a fair trip away. They have to like trickle down, but everyone's all moving the big like crowd. And they're like slowly breaking off their houses and things. They're heading to pubs. So, like the end of a concert, you know, when everyone's kind of trickling away.
Do we know which tavern he's heading to? Whether or not that is the Bit and Bridle or the Wizard's Quill?
He seems to be heading in the direction of both at the moment, because they're on the same road. But you'll know because he'll have to pass the Wizard's Quill and go around the Maximus to reach the Brit and Bridle. So it'll be very apparent in about 5-10 minutes of walking of where he's going to end up.
I think at that point I'll probably turn around and knock Cyrus. I don't think we have to sneak anymore. I think we can just head the same direction.
Oh,
The crowds are heading that way anyway, and we did say we were going to meet him.
well, technically you said you were going to meet him. I just didn't have any luck with that area. So, yeah, we'll just walk to the Bread and Vital. I'll make myself scarce when we get to the bar.
I can just introduce you as my, I don't know, friend, bodyguard.
He thinks I'm a tiefling.
You're going to stick out like a sore fun anyway, so you might as well join me. And then if I trip up on my words, you can get in there.
Sure, we'll CFD check each other.
Plus, I'm going to probably need your chits to afford that bottle of wine I promised the old man.
I'm not exactly swimming in them, but I'll contribute what I can. Maybe if we meet Volgear on the way down, he can throw us some money.
If we see him, he is a sneaky bastard.
But rich.
Cool. And we'll just follow him to whichever tavern he decides to
So we
stop at.
did we spot them?
Yeah, you spotted them. Like as they were moving along.
Cyrus is very obvious.
Yeah, Cyrus very obvious. Barrel's less so much. It's more more like scanning
Can I
for the crowd.
sneak up behind Cyrus and start humming the Mission Impossible theme tune again?
You can make a stealth check
I would like
versus his passive perception.
to. 16.
Yeah, I think that's higher than my pass.
I heard my name as I got downstairs.
Calling you a sneaky bastard and saying that we may need your chits.
Well, I'm gonna try and make a stealth check, I'm guessing.
We are
Make my
trying
way
to.
out of it.
I'm trying to schmooze an old man.
I swear, Barrows, I can't get that tune out of my head. Even now, I can hear it.
What is it?
I don't think I'm gonna do
I
very
don't
well.
know. It's just a tune that Atlas was squeaking as a squirrel.
Oh, I might do very well. I did very well. Is it gonna carry over?
Yep. So Vulgar and
Hey!
Alice will sneak out the back and around and join in the crowd, tailing an unsuspecting Beros.
I'm
and
just
Cyrus.
right behind Cyrus humming.
Astra goes at the front door. Anything in particular that you're doing, Atlas or Astra? Or are you just tagging along? Or
I think Asher's just gonna like keep in the background or like keep an ear out and make sure like their notoriety's not too out there, and maybe keep an eye out to see where it's at. If that makes
Sure.
sense.
Just make me a general perception check.
You're like fucking Dr. Evil over there.
Ken?
Fine. Fine.
Nothing,
I'm really nothing.
nothing strange or startling, Astro. Want down or not? Yeah, you make your way along the roads. You follow your mark all the way around the Stealth Carriage Maximus in the direction of the Bitten Bridle. But you all
So why are we following this guy?
Blah.
You have got to stop doing that.
I'm sorry, I just don't always expect you to just be like right behind me.
I'm
At that moment in time,
you.
can I pop up behind the other ear and just go, but did you expect this?
Cyrus will just turn and look at you and be like, always.
I feel like Astro's just behind's like, hello.
Are we following the old guy or the lady he's with?
No, we're following the old guy and possibly the lady he's with. They were having. She was trying to talk to him during the theater performance, and he's not listening. He's an old man.
Oh, how
No,
was
I've
the
got-
theater?
Very good. So there was this couple, and they were half elves, and then one of them got killed, and then she went on like a murder spree to like save her love. But then there was a brother and another brother, and the two brothers were fighting each other, and she had to pick between the brothers, and then she killed them all and herself. It was awesome.
Normally when you're going to say the end, you say like a spoiler alert or something before, in case somebody wants to go watch it.
Spoiler alert, they all die at the end.
Well, there goes off guest appearance.
You would have liked the lead actress. She had great tits.
My mother used to take me to the theater a lot. She said it was good for people watching, but not on
What
the
was
stage.
it like? Was it busy?
Then who were you watching? It was quite busy, yes. A lot of people seemed to enjoy it.
No, I've never been to one.
You've never been to the theater?
Neither have I. It was
You've
quite
never.
an
Is it not an ASMR thing?
I lived in a temple.
Yeah, but they didn't have like, I don't know, Anapo shows.
Sunday school will be the
Thunder and
closest you
lightning.
got. You have Veggie Tales.
You never been to a panto before? Oh, Cyrus,
What's a
you would
panto?
love a panto.
What is a panto?
I think
It's like a play, but you have to yell stuff at them, but the stuff is like predetermined before, so everyone yells it.
But how do they hand out pamphlets? How do you know what to yell?
Your mom takes you when you're 4 and you just kind of learn.
Yeah.
so it's too late for you to learn.
No, I can take them and teach them. It's really easy. Like when the bad guy's sneaking up on the good guy, you go, "He's behind you."
So Barrow should have shouted, "We're behind you" to Cyrus.
We're not bad guys.
Hmm.
Do you think we're bad guys?
The some
Speaking
people
of
Are we
probably
bad
are.
guys?
Speaking of bad
We are
guys,
currently following an old man, and are we gonna kill him? Is that the plan?
No, sorry. I've just been listening to this conversation. It's quite entertaining to see Cyrus try to explain himself and theater. No, the old man is on the council. We're following him. He said that he would have a drink of wine with me later. So, Volgir, I may need to borrow some chits off you.
right? Well,
Well, I'm
you
all
can have
about
this,
I'm all about wine.
but
Can
I'm
I
gonna
also
follow
borrow some
this
chits and get in
lady.
on that? Side note, Barros, you've been to a panto, right? I'm imagining Faye are all about that kind of thing.
Oh yes, we
Okay, good.
we
Yeah.
have to, like, it's tradition for us to take part in a panto.
And Volga is just gonna ping a coin at you.
The dwarves have
Cool.
panto. The dwarves have theater.
Dwarves have drinking and singing and mining.
What coin did you?
You don't know until you've looked. Have you caught it yet, or is it clinging to the floor?
Yeah, no, I'll catch it.
It's a platinum piece.
Platinum.
That's
Cool.
a coin to your
That'll be enough for like a nice bottle of wine to
I
show
will-
the old man.
How
I
much
will remember
money do
that you've
have?
given. I have given that to you. Expect it back at some, or at least something of equal value.
Olgir, is the reason you're traveling because you robbed a bank and you're on the run now?
Like that's
No.
like the third platinum piece I've seen you produce, and I've never had that much money.
You've never had that much money.
No, very simple living where I'm from.
Isn't it like 150 gold? It's like 15,000 chits.
So, some of my birthday presents used to cost a few platinum.
And clearly you had a better childhood than I.
And me.
Oh, you did come from wine country. Or wine planet?
You're making me
Wine
doubt my notes
country.
now.
Family.
Of my current counting.
I think on the grand scheme of things, the bird folk don't really do wine. Elves kind of run the game because they can age stuff for like 900 years, no problem. Which
Like,
feels
my
like
father was a
cheating.
My father was a lieutenant in the army. We had a decent house, but I wouldn't really call us well off. We had a moderate living.
We
We
lived off
Definitely
the land, so
weren't rich. We were comfortable. But we lived on the croak, so we basically seemed rich to everyone.
You could afford platinum presents.
I'm very loved.
I'm not imagining things.
Must
There
be
was
nice.
something that we did, wasn't there, Harry?
In what regard? The entire
About
world.
platinum pieces and whatnot.
Like,
Sure
how
there
much
was
is a
something.
platinum piece?
A platinum
It's a-
piece
It's
is
10 gold.
yeah, it's
I
10
thought it was
gold.
50.
No,
It's
it's
10
10 gold. There was
Copper's-
something that
copper's
we
one,
did that we got a
silver's
load of money for.
10 copper. Gold is 100 copper,
100.
and platinum is 1,000 copper, which means a platinum piece is equivalent to 10,000. It's insane. Chits are add 2 more zeros on it. That's it in chits.
Yeah. I'm sure there was something we did though that there was a fair whack of money given out.
So is it
Saving the
not
city?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we only got like 5,000 for that. And then
No.
with like
We
carriages
got
and-
money from
No,
the
Cyrus, we just
sheriff
only
too.
gave you 5,000 for that because you didn't get involved in the first fight, so you technically only like half saved the city.
You weren't even working for the city during the first fight. You were just fighting to survive.
No,
Sure,
I
that-
was fighting because I'm an incredibly good person who cares deeply about people's lives.
I mean, Cyrus just fighting
Mhm.
to stand up that
Which is
night,
why
so-
I, saved your ass when you fell unconscious in that fight.
That was you?
Yeah, that was me. I got
You
both you
didn't-
Asimar up.
You didn't even know me at the time. Why
He
would you
does
save
that.
me?
Because you were dying on the floor, and I thought that would be unpleasant for you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
So yeah. the
And then you
1,000
saved
chits
my
is
ass
one
a couple
platinum.
times after, so,
That makes more sense.
worth it.
I just think we had like a couple of big expenses since then.
The carriage rides have been
Yeah, well, we got-
eating away at us.
2 platinum per person for helping with the coal.
Yeah.
Based off my initial
And that
notes.
solid gold horn I've commissioned for Cyrus really took a chunk
And
out
I
of the
didn't buy
budget.
anything.
I'm sorry, you what?
And the brothel.
Yeah, the brothel also took a chunk of the budget.
Brothels are expensive.
But hey, I've still
I'm
got
sure
that
there was-
bell, so I can make it all back, baby.
But I've got blank pages in my notes, so I can't remember.
No, cool.
I've already
So
found a couple
chits are
careers,
equivalent
you know?
to copper. Like that's how it works.
Yeah. So it's 1,000 chits for a platinum piece.
Yeah,
It's
that's right, yeah.
100 chits for a gold piece.
I'll
So
be
it's
working
basically-
in the
You've
Undercity.
not paid anything this entire campaign.
I've literally not bought things. Like I've just been saving my money.
So a chit
Yeah.
is
He's
a chit's
he's
copper.
played Sugar Baby and he has become Sugar Daddy.
The tables turn.
But yeah, I'm thinking if the city gets saved and we decide we like it here, then like I'll be working in the Undercity. Cyrus can get a job reviewing plays.
Not that I'm against you becoming a lady of the night, but I'm going to advise against it.
You do have a planet to save. Then after, maybe.
I mean, how
you-
long can
you-
taking an entire planet back to its former glory take, really, Taking like a week and a half.
Mm.
Well, we'll use this as a tester run, yes.
That's all you get from Cyrus. Just
Mm.
Yeah. But I'm going to buy this old guy a very fancy bottle of wine if I can with this platinum piece and schmooze him a little bit. One person's probably a good, like, can join me and enjoy it, but more than that, we might scare him off.
I like wine and I'm good at talking about it.
I'm sure he would appreciate a
My
fellow.
family's kind of, one of the big players in fancy wine. We literally
Maybe
created one of the most valued wine in the Expanse.
With the help of a god.
I thought you said the gods didn't help anyone.
No, that you used the influence of a god to make fancy wine. So you didn't do it alone.
Well, if the gods don't help anyone, then we must have done it alone, right? Because either the god did help us or didn't help us.
Put your claws back in tabaxi.
maybe you could.
And think out of box, been put in by bird.
Maybe you could give him one of the drinks you were brewing to soften him up. So it's a.
Oh, they are not ready for
Limited
like
edition?
another 3 months. They will be basically poison, right? It's basically just moldy raisins in a bottle at this point.
Is that not what alcohol is, though, poison?
Yes, but it will be poison that tastes bad, as opposed to poison that tastes delicious. And I need to, like, strain it and filter it, and it's not done fermenting anyway, so it would taste totally disgusting. It's just moldy grapes. Well, moldy
He is
raisins
the
that have been
keeper of
rehydrated.
He is the keeper of the ancient tomes as well. I'm sure he knows bad wine. Or not ready wine, should I say.
Yeah.
Very well. Cyrus, maybe stay out of sight, but
anything on the
stay
notes?
within
I-
earshot.
I'll keep him away.
Gods didn't help.
It's only because he's been seen before, and you might get suspicious if he's there as well.
At which point, I'm just gonna yank him right.
Gods are useless.
If
because
you
the
put your
planet's so
hand
high.
over Cyrus's head right now, you can feel heat from how hard his brain's having to work.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Volgir is just
infernal
gonna
engine.
reach hand round hip and just yank him sideways.
Computer
Mm.
cannot compute.
Just go right. Come on.
Badge or no badge?
Bad.
Badge. No, we want to schmooze
Oh,
him.
you two.
We
Yeah.
want him to close up. Although, if we mention the Archmagus and her connections with her god, maybe not throw in his face. I don't know his opinion yet. He may be solely on her
Fine.
side.
We segue from wine to celestial wine to boon of the gods to the Archmagus's relationship with the gods to the city ascending. There's a path.
There is. It's more your reaction. I know how personal you might take it if he insults them.
I got it
Or at
under
least your
control.
kind.
I got it under control. I'm good.
I believe.
Trust
believe
me,
you.
I just had a conversation with the most frustrating creature.
I got it. So they gave you the seed, but the planet still died, so the seed was a moot point. Therefore, gods did not help. Short-term gains do not.
Cyrus is saying
mean
this is some
long-term
alleyway that
benefits.
Volgir has dragged him down because he got hooked off like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. Alice is still just having her conversation. Cyrus realizes he's not there anymore.
And Cyrus has realized that, and you're about to pop in and descend on this old man at his table. Let's take a little break. You all step into the tavern, the Bit and Bridle, which you have been to once before. It's on this big major crossroads.
We're staying here, aren't we?
Yeah, you have rooms here.
Okay.
And you see it's this like brick and sprawling multi-story building, yellow tie roof, big koi pond on the side. You see a large candelabra, tightly packed tables and chairs. There's gambling going on. You see Theramore, the owner, behind the bar. It's a busy enough night. And you hear people like, yelling back and forth with each other about like, races and things like that. Quick scan of the terrain. Eventually you spot your mark. He is sat with the woman who was at the theater with him. He has got the ear horn to his ear. And they appear to be conversing, drinking. They both have a glass of wine each.
I just need to confirm, just for my own sanity, it's not the same elf who had his ear horn pressed to the ceiling of the brothel, right?
Different guy.
Okay, just checking. Because otherwise we totally could have blackmailed him.
Not all elves with horns are perverts.
Okay,
He's
just
horny,
checking.
but he's not horny.
Just checking. Alice will lead into Rose and be like, "That's him. That's the mark."
It's not the best, but it's what we could do. We're at the theater, we were pretty high as well. There may
Alright.
have been a better mark, but that's the one we picked.
Let's get him.
Very well. Let's get a bottle of wine first.
What are they drinking?
From here, it looks red. Apart from that, it's hard to tell. It's just glasses on the table. There's no bottle or anything in there. They've just got 2 glasses.
We should ask the bar what they're drinking, and then get something better.
If we can afford it.
Can't.
Go up to the bar.
You approach, kind of like a little nod over.
Alright. The gentleman over there, drinking the wine. What bottle is that?
That one. Ilera, what's table 17 having? The Foxmantle Crush. There you go, Foxmantle Crush.
Good wine?
It's alright. It's pretty fruity. Has
What can I get
alcohol
for
in.
What can I get for
No,
this? And I'll slide a platinum over.
Something red, fruity, not too heavy.
I have some Fire Drake Red in the back. Normally set aside for a special client, but for a platinum piece, we surely wouldn't miss a bottle.
Drink red. What vineyard is that?
Fire Drake? It's imported from the Draken Concordat.
Ah.
From Thaxel, actually.
Draconid wines make good money nowadays because they're harder to get.
Yeah, since the embargo, trade is limited. Before I'm not lying to you, before the trade, you wouldn't even paid half that much for the bottle.
I know. My father says that it's overpriced swill.
But
Says,
old men like overpriced swill.
yeah.
At least it's got a good
We'll
story.
we'll take it.
Sure thing. How many glasses?
At 4.
Certainly. Takes a platinum piece, goes in back, comes
We're
back
getting
out.
4 glasses.
Comes back out with a bottle.
For them.
It's a green glass bottle with a red label, and the label has a cutaway in the shape of a dragon with its wings kind of spread, kind of like in a very dramatic fashion, and then written on Draconic across the bottle. It says "Fire Drake." For anyone who read it,
I can read it.
the actual neck of the bottle has been dipped in wax, and there has been something like impressed on the top of it, like almost like a brand. The bartender pops it up and opens it for you, and lets you have a little taste. Anyone like to
I
try?
will have a little taste.
I will let
Mulger is
Do I need to
regretting
make
not
a
being there right
wine
now.
tasting check?
Yeah, I think that'd be nice. You can ever use your brewer's supplies advantage with intelligence if you'd like, or maybe wisdom would be more appropriate.
Yeah, I'm more wise than I'm intelligent.
Call it wisdom then. Also, it's wine tasting, so I also will fully accept deception because everyone knows
Because
wine
nobody knows
tasting
what they're
is
fucking
bullshit.
talking about. Like that experiment where they just dyed a bunch of white wines red and then had people compare them.
I will make a deception check. Oh.
Ah,
I
not
feel like-
great. Do I get any advantage for my wine background?
You get your proficiency, that's all you get. So you get 12 total.
Oh, it didn't roll the right one. Oh, no. 7.
So Atlas of 12, you pick up on some of the more strong notes. It's a pretty medium, the full-bodied wine. It's not too super delicate. It's got like a real like tobacco, vanilla kind of hit. Lots of dark berries in there. But you can't really pick out specific like nuanced flavors. Apart from that, it's kind of like a big. It's a big punchy wine, similar to like a Malbec, would probably be fair to say. That like big plumminess to it.
Does it taste worth the money?
It tastes like a very nice bottle of wine. It's kind of like buying a nice bottle of wine in a restaurant. You kind of feel like you've been ripped off for the price.
I could have
but you
got
know-
this cheaper in Space Tesco.
Exactly, yeah. Space Tesco, you probably could have got it for a third of the price. Beros, was 7. What do you taste?
Wine!
Exactly.
You don't know the difference between the bargain basement.
Dragonheads always make such a big deal about dragons on like all of their branding. Like I get it, but like it's not like we're calling our wine like owl wine.
Something just clicked on me. Did you say it was a Drake?
Fire trick, yeah. Fire
Someone tell me they saved the seal.
the
The
bartender
bartender
would have
didn't.
had it with the cork.
God damn it.
I don't think either of them two.
But yeah,
asked
I
for it.
will hand it to Barros and be like, okay, I picked the wine, you lead.
Very well.
You know how to
And
talk to
I
people.
will-
I know how to drink wine. With our
Well,
powers
let's hope we can do
combined-
both. I will mosey on over and come to the table. I believe I owe you a drink, and whatever you're drinking doesn't look as probably nice as this. And we'll put the bottle down. 4 glasses.
You see, he raises a monocle to his eye.
Atlas will remove the mask so she can drink wine without a straw.
Yes, of course. Please, earlier on, I met these lovely individuals at the theatre show earlier. Hope you don't mind if they join us. Looks at Atlas a bit confused. He goes like, yes, yeah, both of them, I believe.
Close enough. Atlas Moreau.
Oh, good to meet you. I've never met a tiefling before. You'll have to forgive my my lack of concordum. Don't know your customs. Do you do headbutt each other, or how do you say hello?
A handshake will suffice.
Oh, how eloquent! My goodness, I did not know they would consider that in the an Abaddon. You know, and it's very frail. It's like he puts no. It's just like a limp
I could
hand in
crush
yours.
This man.
So I can't believe it wasn't the Pie Master.
It's always the Prime
It's-
Minister. You know, I feel like another one will come out and the truth will be revealed when the murders continue. Always the Prime Minister. There always is one.
Always
They've
is the
never
Pie Master.
been the murderer, but one day it'll all come out and they will be that one. Indeed. Eloquent
So-
sighs.
my good friend here, actually, Atlas Moreau, is a what do we call it? Expert in fine wines. Her family is great winemakers from far.
Well, I
far
wouldn't say
away.
an expert, but
Well,
I
I mean,
know of it.
the name speaks for itself. I recognize the name Moreau.
you do.
Yes. I have a few bottles tucked away for special occasions in my estate. No, opposite of this. And she's this like fine-haired high elf, very kind of like nice dress, like high regalia.
Any recent years, I might have worked on them.
I think the last ones that I have would have probably outdated you. Apologies, dear.
No problem.
Ignore our good friend here. His eyesight and ears aren't really with him anymore. So
That's okay. I'm a winemaker. I'm used to working with old things.
fair enough. What did you say about me?
Are you enjoying the wine?
That is very good. And he like the way he holds his glass, he doesn't hold it like nice and finesse at the bottom. He like fists like the stem and like yes, very good wine.
I will talk to the woman
Mhm.
because it's easier.
Yeah.
Be like, so, are you friends or colleagues?
What colleagues?
Or colleagues.
Mhm.
Was
So
it
you
some
work
kind
at
of,
the Great Library. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead. Yeah. Librarian?
No, sorry. I a more senior position than that. I actually operate out of the wider area. In a sense.
Oh, you work with the Archmagus then?
Yes, I operate out of the Archmage Spire. But I have a good connection with the Great Library. I did a lot of my early days spent there.
Must be a
Quite
fancy place
the-
to work, though. Archmage's Aspire.
It is quite the place. Shame it's not open to the public. It is very breathtaking to behold. It's almost as if trying to impress people who would never see it.
Always is the thing with government buildings, isn't it? They always build them so gorgeous, and then only a select few get to see inside.
I think the point is you're trying to impress the other governments.
Yeah. We actually got a look in some of the council buildings in Old North. We only got a little look, but they were quite impressive too. Sprawling.
Yes, I'm familiar with your history. Beros and Atlas, I believe.
That is correct.
Yes,
We just thought we would stay in the city and look around while we still can. We'll probably leave whenever the city ascends, as the Archmagus put it so eloquently.
really? I suppose it was a good way to get back up to the Expanse. Most of you are from off planet. Commissioning a Tev from up there might be a bit easier as well.
Well, maybe we will stay. But it was quite the speech, no? The Archmagus gave us. Very, very elegant,
Indeed,
and quite a surprise when she revealed her. Would you say true form?
her astral form. Yes, it's something that I think was only bestowed upon her in the recent months. Maybe in the last half year or so. After she had the connection with the gods.
The connection. It is. Sorry, I'm not very well educated in the arcane arts or even so the gods, but I've never heard of anyone connecting with the gods in such a way other than the interaction with the bird folk. They were the gods' messengers, no?
Believe me, there was heavy scrutiny as well from all of us whenever she first made these claims.
Must have seemed crazy at first.
Most definitely. Starfall ended up actually divining into it and seeing if she could find the truth, and she turned up everything that the Archmage was coming off with was honest, and the form as well proves it's not a polymorph or anything like that. That is her new form. That is her. It's not like someone has put an illusion on her or anything like that. We checked, obviously. It genuinely is her, and it's happened, and it happened as the claim happened. So it does make it all seem a bit more likely.
Yeah, certainly adds a lot of legitimacy to the claim when you're a whole new person, literally.
Yeah. And we've seen what they're capable of. You know, we know that's something in their remit. It could be done. So
She's definitely very passionate about the whole thing. You can see that in the speech.
she is very good at what she does, and very aware of what she can do. You know, it's
You're not nervous then? Making the leap?
I have no intention of leaving Tilm. I also don't really busy myself much with that side of things. I deal with trials, and I specialize in trying to remain impartial where I can. That's quite important for my position.
Especially in these times.
Yes, indeed. You have to really see things from both sides when you are working out of my department.
It must have been quite a busy couple of weeks with the riots tears filling your courtrooms.
Indeed, yes. We gave them all as fair a trial as we could. Those who were deemed a threat or dangerous, we unfortunately did have to confine, and those who were innocent or merely protesting, we did allow to go. Sadly, they seem to keep coming back, and eventually, with the repeated nature, eventually there was enough evidence to put most of them away or deal with them. Unfortunately, we don't necessarily set the punishment for laws case by case. It is a generalized punishment, so
Terrorism's terrorism.
unfortunately, so it's hard to judge it case by case. And whenever you do, that's whenever things start. It really rocks the foundation. You know, the whole, why did my client get 10 years and they got a death sentence? So, you know, and it's easy to say, literally, because they hurt people, and yours just, you know, had defaced a building or whatever. But sometimes it's easier just to paint everything with the same brush, and at least then the people who are doing it and still actively doing it know what will await them regardless of what they do.
I suppose that's why the church or the cathedral looks the way it does.
Indeed. That is that's an act of setting an example of what could be. The Archmage is going to have them taken down, I believe, this evening or tomorrow morning. Talking about a new chapter that we're coming into now, letting us not dwell on the past. They've been quiet now for a good, you know, just over a week or so. So we think we've got most of the ringleaders rounded up. Hopefully that will be the end of it, and we can focus on what's coming up ahead.
Well, I imagine with the city going the way it's going, anybody who believes it should be on the ground will probably be getting out of here to get back on the ground themselves.
I would imagine so.
Wouldn't want to be stuck up here to get stuck up here.
Mm-hmm. I certainly, if I held those kind of beliefs myself, I probably wouldn't want to be either. But
What about you old man? You nervous for the leap?
what? No, nervous. Hang on. What is this, sorry?
Are you
You're not-
nervous about ascending into the Expanse?
Am I nervous about ascending? Am I dying?
No, into the Expanse.
Oh, of course not. What a great excitement that could be for us. There's
I
so
hear
many things out
excitement's
there.
good for you once you reach an age like yours.
It is very good. I used to be one of the great explorers of the Expanse. I mapped out most of the known, amalgamate space. That was
No
me.
kidding.
I did it. Through my star maps.
Well, that's quite interesting.
That's
what
quite an
is your-
achievement.
That is. What's your opinion on the political strife that this may bring? A new culture expanding into already pre-claimed territory.
Look,
Not
at the end of the day, we want to go up. We want to achieve more, see more, be more. I'm one of the fucking oldest members this entire city has, right? From my experience, normally the old ones are the ones who are hard to change the opinion of, because they think they know best. And what they know best is what they already know. They don't like knowing new things. Having seen it all, take us up there. Things we could do. The people we could meet. The advancements we could make. Forget this conflict with the dragon. We could. I remember I used to have a lady friend who was a kobold, right? She was very nice, and whenever I was traveling, me and her had a thing. And it's funny to think that was only, a couple of 100 years ago. Now, people look at dragons like they're evil and horrible. They're not. They're lovely and very polite people and very nice. The people who are scared to go there, they're just people who don't want things to change. They're the ones who are the problem. Once they're up there, they'll see that they were wrong. You both, you're not from here. You know what it's like. Don't let... It sounds silly, but sometimes the common person here on the street doesn't quite know what's best for them. And up there, when the air becomes nothing, and the little dots in the sky that used to just be a backdrop become places you can go and visit and see. It's a hell of a lot more impressive than fucking clouds and treetops. We could do so much. And if we had a whole city of us up there, moving around at that pace, we would be like a dreadnought. Stronger, maybe. I have to think of what we could do.
Maybe you should have given that speech.
A lot of my understanding and context went into the original designs and projections. But I know what's up there. It's what we need to do. But this wine is very good. It reminds me of good times.
Draconic.
Yeah, it doesn't taste like kobold. It gets the vibe across.
I mean, if you're looking for something a little different, then maybe you should go to the Satyrs Pocket. It's quite the establishment.
Oh, I'm frequent there often. Very nice place. Very, very good.
I feel like Atlas isn't great at telling elves apart, and she's just thinking back to the man with the ale. I'm like, trying to remember his face, like,
But look, at the end of the day, look. Why? We're high elves, We need to be high. It's kind of in the name. And I think, honestly, we should bring everyone with us. If we can. Get the drow involved.
I don't think the drow like being above even regular Earth.
You'd be surprised. The wood elves down below definitely could join us.
That is well and good, but is the opinion of one very wise old man the opinion of the entire city? Well, the people that matter, the decision makers.
Well, we're all on board as far as I could tell from the last council meeting. I think we're all... This is not a decision that's been impromptu, discussed, and pushed through. It's been a long time coming.
I imagine even coming up with the idea took a long time.
Look, at the end of the day, if people don't want to come, no one's forcing them. But this is going to be the city they're living in. If they want to stay living here, they have to learn to adapt. You know what I say? If you don't like it, tough titties. fuck off. No one's stopping you. Like, that's right, isn't it? Like, no one's stopping him from just going. He like turns to her. She was like, well, no, of course not. If they wish to leave, once they get the their approval to go, if they are Manchukusa, then they're fine to leave. But obviously, there is the expectation we will need some level of arcane bloodline remaining just to continue our advancements. We can't have all the mages who keep up our walls and protections we get up there dying off, and then we'd all die.
So not everyone is free to leave. Those you need stay, are at least strongly advised.
The plan is we're going to pick the ones who have the most benefit to stay for their own regard versus those people who have family, say on the lowlands or in other cities, things like that, who aren't ready to go. We will of course give them priority to go. But if you are a lone individual working in the city, has never lived anywhere else, born and raised
high
here,
elf mage living on the city with high elf parents and high elf siblings.
If you have no reason to leave, if you're simply trying to leave for out of fear or out of a will, try to dissuade them otherwise. But at the end of the day, if you're a high elf mage who casts as powerful magic as some of them can, it's not like we can stop them. We can deny the right for them to travel via the airship or whatever, but that's about it,
I mean, it's not really many other ways to get off a floating city. Unless you fancy jumping.
Jumping with Featherfall, teleporting, plane shifting to a different planet altogether. There are many ways off Tilm. We're also still scheduled for our landing soon in about 10 days. On the final day of our of a debunction, we're expecting a good loss of denied populace then as well, but it's been forecasted. It's at the end of the day.
And I imagine once you're up there, your population will probably climb in the ranks of not elves anyway.
Exactly. And we'll have people come from far and wide interested in what we've been able to do and how we've done it. But, it's just to secure our immediate safety. And whenever the city reaches a point where it is stable and good to go, I'm sure there'll be plenty of Tevs going back and forth, probably picking up the people who originally left and wanting to come see what's happened.
Well,
Sounds like quite the sight, huh, Barros?
It does. Maybe we should stick around and see it through.
A lot of people can be scared and worried, and be talk today, and there'll be talk tomorrow, and there'll be talk for the next 10 days. But look, it's going to be a good thing. If you're obviously coming because you're worried to some level, I'm telling you right now, you don't need to worry. There's people like us who, we know what is best and what will help everyone. But at the same time, we're not there to, people's life miserable. If they don't want it, that's fine. They can hop off in some lowland city, some lowland village, and embrace nature. If that's what they want, if they want to embrace this planet.
If that is what is best, why? And you're so confident that is what's best. Why not vote? Why not trust the people? I know not what works for your government, but I know where I was raised and how I would. People should have a voice, even if it's a small voice.
Well, as usual, every 50 years we do host our elections among the gifted, and they vote people in charge who they trust to make the decisions on their behalf. A generalized vote for a big event like this is foolish. You'll just have a populace of people who assume what they think will stay the same or won't happen or will happen. They'll not bother coming out in force, and you get those who are very passionate about it come out, and they'll throw it off anyway. It doesn't work. It's tried and tested. But that's why you vote people like us in,
Right. On that note, it's getting late.
Yeah,
we
we've
should-
taken enough. tonight.
You are a very busy individuals. Hopefully we can speak soon. maybe see you in one of these very celebratory events that are going to happen over the next couple of days.
Oh, most definitely, yes. I think there's a few plans being put in place of exactly what's coming when.
Everybody loves a party.
I think most of the events are going to happen after the 20th, after the landing and cutoff. That's whenever most of the big events will be taking place. I think until then, the only thing on our calendars are primarily the Exodus applications at the Great Library.
A lot of paperwork, I imagine.
Lots of people, we were expecting a fair chunk of the populace to have doubts, hesitations, and want to leave, and that's completely fine. But we need to review and make sure those who are going for the right reasons, not to be, persuaded by someone else or anything like that. For their best interest.
Indeed. Right, feel free to finish the wine.
Thank you, will do.
You look like you're enjoying yourself. We actually have rooms here, so we're going to go and maybe get some sleep. We have a big day of. We're actually going to go see the stadium tomorrow. The what's it called? The carriage.
It's still Carriage Maximus.
Carriage Maximus. Yes, we were going to go put a few of the beds down and just have a nice day out.
That is definitely the way to do it. Whenever you do go, there are some lovely VIP suites. I'll put in a good word and have my booth set aside for you.
That is very kind of you. I do appreciate it.
Yes, I could do with someone who's got good taste.
And with that, I will stand up, allow Atlas to stand up as well, and probably try and find the others. I assume maybe... Did you go into the tavern at all?
Really up to them. Did you hang about outside waiting, or did you...
The Archmage is dead.
Well, Cyrus was pulled aside and told not to go, not to be seen.
Oh, I only pulled you aside for a joke. Didn't pull you
Still
aside
not-
properly.
Probably sitting on a barrel in the alleyway being like, I'm bored.
No, he's still going over the... And then the gods didn't help, because...
No, he got to his point, but then realized...
He got to
Atlas
his
was no
point, but
longer there,
Atlas
and-
missed it.
Ah, for God.
If that's the case, then I'll pop my head round the corner. Guys, I think we should talk. Upstairs, Logger's room. Get a bit of privacy.
Right to Tour's way room.
Fine, you can go in
Fine.
my room if you want, but you
Yeah,
might not
fine.
like what's in there.
God, right, definitely my room. That.
The worst part is that Astra's sharing that room with you.
Astra, you open the door to your bedroom, there's just a whole, fucking, goat in there, just, tied up, meh.
I feel like Astra, if it's two beds, Astra has the bed propped up on its side and then just has the the roll laid out. She can't try
Barrier.
to block all
No,
sight.
like
You can
room
block
is
the
definitely-
sights, but you can't block the sounds.
The room's very nice. I just don't want
Not
people
yet.
going in the room.
Nate, you had the Vulgar's room.
Meanwhile,
Guardian
Atlas
Drones
and
and Traps,
Cyrus are
not very
sharing
suspicious.
room, and
As you
Cyrus has
walk
come to the
in-
horrifying realization that when Atlas isn't in a hammock, she sleeps sitting bolt upright.
As you walk into Olga's room, you'll notice everything is prim and proper. There's nothing out of place. It's just completely immaculate.
This is to be expected.
Close the door
So,
behind you.
what did you find out?
Very
She bought my
interesting conversation.
wines. Well, not my wines. She bought my family's wines. She has good taste in wine.
Great.
But then generally,
And
they're not bad people.
They believe in what
might-
they're doing,
and they believe
as
what
do the
the
Dryads.
Archmage.
They kind of believe in what they're doing more than the Dryads, Tears.
Yes, and they believe
Oh.
what the Archmagus is doing is
Oh, by the way,
100%
the
true.
Archmage is half a person, and the other half of the person is running the Dryads, Tears.
what?
I'm sorry.
You didn't tell me this.
Well, when was I gonna tell you? When I was in front of everyone? I feel like that would have been an awkward topic.
What do you mean
Uh,
she's half a person? We
Okay,
saw her. She's a
so-
full person.
She
No,
made a
so it's- yeah, so-
simulacrum.
Simulacrum. So basically, there's a spell, right, where you can create kind of like a copy of yourself, like high wizards do it, and you get like a little you servant, and they're like a whole person. But it seems like she
put
took
the bit-
everything about herself that she didn't like and put it into a person, and that person is the person who's running the Dryad's Tears, because of course it is, because literally everything about her is atypical to the mage. So she took things like her spontaneity literally out of her body and turned it into a person. So now she is only the traits she deemed valuable. Does that make sense?
Yeah, is there a way to put the other person back into the archmages?
You can kill simulacrums, but that doesn't really put them back. I've never seen or heard or... It's not something that I knew existed, but the way she was talking, it's... I don't have proof. I don't have proof that this is what it is, but it's my best theory to what's happening. Because she was weird about... There were things she physically could not say or do. As in, they weren't there. Like, not... It's like... Cyrus, if I asked you to repeat the entire history of Squaw, what would you do?
So the planet was fine, then the gnomes came and fucked it up.
Okay, so you've started about 10,000 years too early. You can't. You physically can't recite the history because it's not in your head. That's kind of like how she is with things like planning and leading, because they physically don't exist in her. It's not something she can make herself.
So she's taken the best parts of herself and just left in her body, and
The parts she
followed.
deems best.
Deems worthy of a leader or something.
If you take away all your impulsivity and you're left with only logic, you lose the ability to act on impulse, which is something that we need to survive.
And self-doubt, it seems.
Yeah. That poor girl is filled with self-doubt. It
Interesting.
feels like she's not worthy to even be part of the people, never mind lead them.
So
And now she's
Yeah.
trying to lead a terrorist organization because she's the only one left, and she's not made for that.
So if we disrupt the Archmage's plans even slightly, something that she's not accounted for,
Then
she won't be able
it
to
may-
improvise?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, she probably has people working around her, but if she's planned everything to a meticulous detail, it might throw a spanner in the works. Maybe that's why she freaked out so much when we arrived. We weren't predicted. We weren't even on the radar until a couple weeks ago, you know? I mean, look at us. We are a ball of unpredictability. Look at Barros. He's half goat.
Yeah, what does that got to do with anything? Like, that's not to do with... Like, look, I'm stupid because I'm stupid, not because I'm half goat.
I'm
If
sorry.
I'm going to throw myself off a ship down a chain, that's because I think it's a good idea. That's the human side, not the goat side. Humans are stupid.
That was the impulsive side.
Barros is this woman's worst nightmare, is what I'm saying.
Hmm.
Much
I
like
was going to
somebody
suggest
who
something.
attempts to wrestling move jump off onto a guy midway through a fight, or someone who flies after a bomb because they're particularly mad at the guy next to it.
Hey, if
I
had
think
a lad
basically
at
the only
elbow-
ones she could deal with are Astra and Volgear, and honestly, I just think we just haven't given them a chance to be stupid yet. They've got it in them.
I could have killed the guy if I had landed the elbow. He was just a little too quick for me. I didn't account for that.
So this takes me on to my next issue, which probably is going to bring some questions about the whole things, but some of these people aren't bad people, and they believe in that what they're doing is for the greater good of their people, their race, and that's going to be difficult to lodge.
I honestly don't think any of these people are bad people. I mean, they might be bad people, but I don't think anybody's doing this out of
Malicious intent.
malice.
Being led astray.
I think everybody thinks they're doing what's best for the city, and those are all different things. Honestly, half of me thinks that we just leave them to it. Like,
I was going to say, a little part of me almost agreed with the old man. A little bit of me saw myself in him, the exploration and the wanting to explore that again.
Cyrus,
It-
are you
would it-
smirking
would it be
because he said
such
a
a
little
bad
bit of
idea?
me and the old man?
No, I'm smirking because the DM is smiling and nodding as if to go, yes, good conflict.
Look, I don't know. I think our best bet. I agree with the Dryad's tears in that the people need to choose, and the people in charge aren't going to let the people choose.
Problem is, no one's willing to take the vaccine.
Yeah.
Not even the better half, the
Hey.
leader herself.
Cyrus,
What if
Yes.
when you were telling me about the play,
Mm-hmm.
the villain for most of it
Yes.
was the city watch captain of the guard?
Yes. And he had a brother. Like a twin brother. There was like a letter difference in their names. One
Even
was...
Cyrus would recognize it was the head of the Watchers. So Leartheon Stormblade is the official head of the Watchers, and his brother was Iratheon Stormblade. It was Litheron without the L.
I might be being stupid here. But my mother always said that theater is a great way at seeing how people react and changing minds. And it just seems odd to me that in times like this, a play would villainize the Watch and also introduce a plot about twins, one good, one evil. I
The
wonder
crowd
if we
did-
could talk to that playwright and see if they... I mean, it might just be coincidence, I don't know, but maybe there's someone else trying to change the mind of the people.
Wonder what we could hunt them down in the morning. Which to them.
maybe we don't have to take out the whole city. Maybe we just have to take out one person.
The playwright.
Not the playwright. This is the pie master all over again. Fucking hell. You're worse than the old man.
Or maybe it's the pie master that we're really after. The old man did seem convinced it was the pie master.
Maybe you can look down that avenue.
The
but
old man 200 years ago had a kobold wrapped around him. I don't know if you could trust his opinion.
But maybe there's some truth in what Atlas says. Maybe it's completely obvious. Maybe the captain of the guards is responsible for the way that the Watchers are acting. Or maybe it's the one with the creepy twin, i.e. the Archmagus.
Or the ones, and there's nothing saying there isn't two creepy twins.
You cut the head off the snake. Someone is going to take its place. There's
Unless
eight other mages who would take her place and still agree that the city ascends, but maybe
said?
not as tyrannical.
It's interesting, though, that the playwright seems to be
Suggesting the
in-
watch is not all good.
the watch is not all good, and that there is a confusion of who is the real villain.
And also the fact that they managed to get away with doing that in the middle of the city, which is very tightly controlled.
And the crowd seem to enjoy the fun they were poking at the city's watch, and the confusion and the lack of ability to do anything.
There's not much difference
Maybe-
between a playwright and a politician. They both spin
Yeah, but that-
stories.
At the end of the play, everybody died.
Oh,
Everybody fell
maybe
and
this is the
died.
chance. Yeah, this is the chance to.
I think we need to
Okay.
find this playwright.
Oh,
Tomorrow
I think we need
morning.
to- Yes, definitely.
I'm very
tomorrow.
tired right now.
I am going to.
On
sorry,
her way out,
I
Alice is
just got
going to move
completely-
something out of place to see if Volker immediately fixes it or not.
I'm now stuck between two things here because I just noticed that Anthony's got a glass, a Beaver Town glass, a neck oil glass, and yes, it will be instantly fixed. Like you won't even know it's happened. You'll turn around.
She like turns back to see if he's gonna fix it, and it's already fixed.
Yeah.
Damn.
Right, so in the morning, we'll swing by the theater and see if we can locate this playwright. The play did say that they would be here until the Ascension, so...
Mm.
Plus, I kind of want to see that head actress now that you've mentioned.
If they talked about the head of the city watch having a twin, maybe they're literally basing the head off the Archmage, because if she's at the very top, she is the head.
But that's not common knowledge, no?
Not
Unless
that I
the
could
playwright
tell.
knows things.
That's the person who writes the play knows.
That's why I'm saying we should probably see
Yes.
who it is and
Have a
what
good
their
discussion.
It might be
what their
total
stance are.
coincidence, but at the very least, it's quite touristy to go watch a play and then immediately want to go talk to the playwright about how much you loved it.
I would say it's a bit too coincidental that that is exactly the thing that the play was about. But did you not just get invited to a nice booth somewhere
We did,
as well?
We did.
but we can do more than one thing a day.
No, I'm just not. I'm just saying, why don't we do both? And why don't we go see the playwright in the afternoon?
Oh, we could invite him to the booth. It's somewhere
Let's not
quiet
make
to
it
talk.
obvious. Or yes, or you invite him to the booth. I'm just thinking. We don't do things obviously that we've obviously thought on it, and that's the first thing we do in the morning.
No, we'll get,
can't.
get up.
So
we
maybe
have
we should
breakfast.
do as we said we were doing, go watch some self-carriage racing, and then in the afternoon we could see if we can find a playwright.
Yes. Well,
Buy
why
him
don't
some
we stop
lunch.
past?
Artists
Why
love
don't-
being bought lunch. They're all very
Why don't-
poor.
Why don't we
Yeah.
stop by first thing in the morning, see if we can get access to that booth, and if we can, as Beros has said, invite him to the booth to join us in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And then we've got a nice private area to potentially discuss.
Might be a plan.
Sounds like the beginning of a plan.
At least we get some more information. I'm not against getting more information. I'm against acting without it.
Now, if you don't mind, I spent half of today running my little squirrel legs off after terrorists, and I am genuinely exhausted.
And the other half of the day moving shit around my room.
Yes, well, I believe it's...
As Volgir walks behind and just moves one pencil that's moved like a centimetre to the right.
It has been a long day. We
You're
should all
so
probably get some
OCD.
rest.
Obsessive compulsive dwarf.
I like to know where everything is. Then I know if someone's been here.
You organize the rocks in the fucking mines, I bet.
Yeah? Rocks? What? There's more things to organise? What?
I bet you're fun at dwarf parties.
I am? Because I
Both
organise
parties are meant to be
booze.
very fun, though.
They are.
I've never
they're
been
also
to
supposed to
one,
be-
but
See,
chaotic.
Beros, what you've got to remember is to organise the booze, you've got to buy the booze.
To be
You've
fair,
got to remember as well. You've pretty much had a free ride this entire journey, because I fucking paid for every fucking self-drive carriage from here to
Mm-hmm.
here.
wrong.
You paid for your
Astra
nice
paid
bottle
for
of
our
wine.
one home.
Yeah, that's true. Not all of them, but
And I paid for your nice bottle of wine that you enjoyed. So
I admittedly am not great at paying my way, but in my defense, I'm trying to save money to get to the Umphalos and save my entire planet. And once I've saved my entire planet, my family will be very rich, and then I can pay you back.
it's
Might
fine.
take
It's
a
fine.
minute, but you know.
I just think maybe while we're here, we
Cyrus,
need
did
to
you work your way out
find
the
a way
box
to make
yet,
some
or?
money.
Oh yeah, I already came up with a response for that. You missed it though. So basically,
Okay.
even though the gods gave you a seed that let you get wine and become very profitable, the planet still died. The gods didn't help you save the planet, therefore the gods were still useless. Little gains do not lead to great
So the
longevity
gods didn't
gains.
help me.
Yes.
So my family did do it on our own.
No, the gods initially helped you with a smaller thing, but they
He's
didn't
back
help
in
you
the box.
with a
It's
greater
time
thing.
for the bed. Come on, Astor. I've got a goat waiting for me.
Bulgir?
I'm only joking. I couldn't find the goat in
Okay.
time.
I don't think they have them up here.
Big Astra purposely hides the squirrel more into her hair tonight.
Might be able to
I
find
think
a
it's
druid, though.
time you all go back to your own rooms now.
You're the closest druid, just saying. But it's
I
Astra
am
goes
not
to-
turning into a goat.
I'm gonna leave you on that thing, and as that point, Volgir is ushering everyone out of his room, locking the door, and suddenly you hear, as you walked out, you saw one bolt, you hear 5 bolts go on the door.
So,
Through the
Hammers and
door.
nails.
Through the door, Forrest can hear it. Okay, so the gods helped you initially by
so
giving
if I
the seed.
save my planet, does that like cycle back around to the gods helping me, or did I then help myself?
No, you helped yourself.
So I saved my family.
You saved
The
your family.
gods
You
could
saved your
also
planet.
be.
But if I then
Giving you
make
an
the fortune
opportunity
off
to
the
save your
seed the
family.
gods gave me, am I still like the only one responsible for that? Because we still have seed saved from the celestial grapes. Well,
Okay.
good night, Cyrus.
You
No,
do it
no,
without
no.
big magic
We share.
grapes.
We share a room. You cannot escape me.
That means go to bed. You hear Volgir shout through the door.
All
It's
right.
a
You know what?
simulation room. She
I
can
will
pop
admit
up
that your
walls.
family did it on their own.
Thank you.
Good night, and Cyrus will then get to bed.
Volgir's never been so glad to be
You
sleeping in a
can't
room on
tell
his own.
if Atlas is watching you sleep or has fallen asleep herself.
And with that, as you all bed down for the evening and rest, with lots of mysteries kind of unfurling before you, lots of questions being answered and leading to more questions. That's where we're going to stop for today, and we'll see you next week as we continue on our venture towards the Expanse. Bye bye.
Night.